Welcome to Artesia, the Pit Bowl here as we are ready for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Sorry about that, we had major technical difficulties and we got the second half started as Artesia trailing Hobbs 35-22. First shot in the third quarter is off the front of the rim, rebounded for the Lady Eagles after the board for Armitage as she'll get across the timeline to Ross. Again, we're live here in Artesia. The Hobbs Lady Eagles up by 13, 35-22. Pass to the top of the circle to that's Caitlin Muniz. To the right elbow, pivoting with the ball is Hardison. Goes back door, Ross with a layup on the left side, misses off the back of the iron, and is pulled down by Artesia. Make that Grayson Kirkendall. Goes into the timeline to bring it across Brooklyn Fuentes. Stop and go, gets a double team from Madison Zepeda and Ross. She goes down on her knee and gets tied up by Ross with a jump ball. A turnover for Artesia. Score 35-22, 7:17 left here in the fourth quarter. I would again apologize for the technical difficulties. I'd like to thank KSVP Radio TV for helping us out as we needed a special cord to get on the air tonight. So definitely Gene Dow and his crew, thank them, and TJ Miracle getting that set up as well. Eagles get the ball on the left elbow. Muniz is going to bounce it up top to the Lady Eagles, starting the offense again to Armitage. Slings it to Ross to the top of the arc to Zepeda. Runner shot down the lane with the left hand over the front of the rim and good. Zepeda now, as she's got a total of 4 points on the board, make it 7. Score now 37-22, Hobbs by 15. Pass across the timeline to Fuentes. Fires a pass to the left wing to Frederick. She'll hold the ball against the Lady Eagles 2-3 zone. Top of the arc to Fuentes. Kick it to the right wing in front of the Artesia bench. Hippity hop move for Kraft. Stumbles ahead forward and gets a travel. I'm actually calling it a double dribble instead. Looked like she stumbled before that, but gets a turnover. 37-22. Lady Eagles in the black uniforms, white numbers, gold trim, and Artesia the home whites with the orange numbers. 6:27 left third quarter. Bounce pass in the front court, left wing to Armitage. Dribbles up top, spins with her left, lost the ball momentarily, recovers, returns the right side of the lane to Ross. Reverse layup left side, air ball with the two hands. Correction, that was instead Hardison. Rebound by Ross, kick out right wing to Muniz. Muniz missing the three, and it's going to be Artesia with the rebound. Still at half court, Ross will pick it off. She'll go to the rack on the left side with two hands and scores. So Ross continues to add on the big points. She's got 19 to lead the Lady Eagles. Now 39-22. Pass to the half court line, brought across for Artesia by Avery Frederick. Dumping it over the top down the left block. Throws it over to teammate's head, Grayson Kirkendall. No chance for her to come down with it. Goes out of bounds again for another turnover. Several of those coming in this third quarter. Kirkendall with 9 points, leading Artesia. As coming across the timeline for the Lady Eagles is Zepeda. Crossover move down the lane, kick it left corner. Ross spotting up a three off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Zepeda on the left block. Kicks it back up top. Three on the way for Muniz off the back of the iron. And rebound from the right block for Artesia by Jordan Roan. Roan to give it back to her guard. That's Fuentes. Crossover move. She takes on Ross to the timeline. Throws it to the free throw stripe to Roan. Kick it left baseline. 15-footer on the way and good. Swish it through is Frederick. Frederick now with 4 points. 39-24. Here come the Lady Eagles. Quickly in the front court. Muniz on the right wing. To the left corner to Zepeda. Gets a screen from Armitage. Drives the right side of the lane. Kick it off right side to Ross. Again back to Zepeda in the right corner. She'll back it out. Trying to get a screen from Ross. Ross comes and sets one. Instead passes up top to Armitage. On the right wing. Crossover move. Goes to the right block. Slings it back left corner to Zepeda. Fakes a three. Jab step. Drives baseline. They're going to say she shuffled. And a travel. Turnover for the Lady Eagles. Still leading by 15, though. As Hobbs came into this game 17-2, number one in the Max Preps poll after knocking off Farmington last week, 70-43. Of course, they lost to Farmington in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament Championship by 3, so a comeback game, revenge. Pass down the lane to Artesia, getting double clutch, rejected though. Grayson Kirkendall. Rebound for the Lady Eagles by Armitage. She'll send it ahead, but overthrows her teammate at the baseline at the other end. Carolee Rivera, the sophomore, tries to reach out for it and it goes out of bounds for the Lady Eagles turnover. Again, Hobbs 17-2, moved up to that number one spot. Farmington getting beat by 27 in that ball game. The Lady Eagles up quickly, 21-6 in the first quarter there in Moriarty last week. Into the front court come the Bulldogs. Kraft on the right wing, uses up her dribble. Returns it back deep to Fuentes right side in front of the Artesia bench. Comes up top with the dribble. Fires the pass to the left wing to Roan. To the left baseline. Fadeaway jumper for Frederick off the back of the rim. Put back up on the left block. Missed by Roan on a point-blank shot. Pulled down with the Lady Eagles in transition. That's Kason Muniz into the front court. Stop and go. Left side of the paint goes baseline. Spins and throws it up top to reset to Ross. Fakes a tray. Comes down the lane. A pop-a shot from the free throw line and puts it through. So Zoe Ross with some more big points for the Lady Eagles. Definitely can stroke it through. She's got 21. Going to the other end, trying to go coast to coast and losing the ball out of bounds. They try to get the ball down to Kirkendall. It's chased out by the Lady Eagles. Kason Muniz down to the other baseline defensively and couldn't get a grasp on it, so it will be Artesia basketball underneath their hoop, trailing by 17. Inbounding from the right baseline is Kraft, sends it back deep, top of the circle to Roan. Kick over to the right wing to Fuentes. To the right corner, a spin by Kraft, comes back up in front of her bench, lost the ball into the half-court line, taken by Ross. Another Artesia turnover, reverse layup on the right side and scores. Ross now with 23 to lead the Lady Eagles, and both teams in scoring in this one, the 8th grader. 3:22 left, third quarter, 43-24. Hobbs has their biggest lead of 19 here in the contest in Artesia. Ball in the hands of Kraft, throws a high one across the timeline, near side to Roan. Throws it back deep to the time stripe to Fuentes in the front court against the Hobbs 2-3 zone. Kick it back left wing. Roan fake to three, dump it left elbow. Coming down the lane, Kirkendall fires up a shot with two hands out the back of the rim. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Armitage. She'll take the dribble in the front court. One hands it over to the left wing. Muniz fires up a three, in and out, no good. The lid came off on that one. And a battle for the boards on the right block. Two guards going for it. We have a boys game after this, and hopefully everything is squared away thanks to KSVP Radio and TV here in Artesia helping us big time. Call comes down the right sideline to Whitmire, dump it on the right base. As it kicked back out to Whitmire, over the right wing to Fuentes. Crossover move, tries to go through pressure, gets double team in the corner. Ross gets a piece of it, also ripping the ball away for the Lady Eagles, and the double team was Areli Navarro. And it looks like we got a travel. So Artesia getting swamped there in the deep right corner of the front court for another turnover. They had 4 of those here in this third quarter and trail by 19 to Hobbs. Of course, the Lady Eagles open up district next week. We'll be at home against Roswell on Tuesday. Ross will bring it across the timeline. Nobody defending her. She comes across, gives it off to the near side to Rivera. Up top to Armitage, drives the right side of the lane, reverse layup, comes off the bottom of the backboard, unfortunately. Rebound far right sideline, and taking the dribble in the front court is Whitmire. She'll come back and hand it off to the time stripe. Gives it off to her guard, Fuentes. Unloads to the far right wing to Peyton Barela. Cross court left to Roan. Up top to the guard again, Fuentes. 2-3 zone still for the Lady Eagles. Staying right where they need to be. Pass to the right wing to Greer. She dribbles up in front of the Artesia bench right side. Tries to post up. The high pass to Whitmire, knocked out. Getting a piece of the ball and swatting at it, Katie Goodwin. And it goes out of bounds on the right baseline. Still Artesia basketball. But a 19-point Hobbs Lady Eagle lead. 1:44 left, third quarter. Inbounding is Whitmire. Sends it back deep to the far right sideline in front of the Artesia bench to Fuentes. Ross picks her up. Gives it to the right again to Whitmire. Takes a few dribbles. Stops. No-look pass back to the timeline to Fuentes. Tries to go backdoor to the left side of the lane. Ripped away by Armitage. Another turn for Artesia. She'll send it ahead to Ross, who goes up with two hands coming through the lane left to right. Tries to lay it up on the right glass and gets fouled going up. Ball comes loose in the air. And that's going to be the first on Fuentes' first team foul here in the third quarter, putting Ross on the line. She had 2 free throws in the first half. First shot is up, and it is good. 24 points for Zoe Ross. And a sub coming in for Coach Carpenter, as on the court is Jordan Mendoza, the junior. 5'10", of course, one of the taller players for the Lady Eagles. Godwin's also 5'10" as well, and so is Hardison. Second shot good for Ross. She's got 25. She's going to get a breather now for Coach Carp, and in for her will be one of the sharpshooters for the Lady Eagles, and that is Kason Muniz. Inbound comes to the right corner in the backcourt for Artesia to Greer. Tries to dribble down the lane, and they're going to say she double dribbled. Boy, she was getting swamped in the paint. Bunch of players on top of her that time for Hobbs. Carelli Rivera and Kason Muniz. Artesia in double digits in turnovers now. Inbounding from the baseline underneath the hoop is Muniz. Throw it back deep up top of the circle to Mendoza. Throw a high one to the left wing to Muniz. Dribbles up top, sends it to the right side to Rivera. Goes to her left hand, top of the circle. Unloads to Mendoza, left wing. Spins in the left elbow, comes down the lane, tries to shoot, gets rejected. She got the ball knocked at her and then got out of the way, and it looked like it was last touched by the girl that blocked her. That was Jordan Roan. So Hobbs retained possession on the left of the bucket. Up by 21, their biggest lead of the contest. Bounce it back door. Losing control for just a minute. Gets it back, does Areli Navarro. Then goes up strong and scores with two hands off the right glass. Right next to the rim, her first bucket. It's now 47-24, a 23-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Bulldogs with a couple of passes beat the pressure. They find Barela on the left baseline, 15-footer off the back of the rim, uncontested, but rebound underneath, pulled down by Katie Goodwin. That's going to be her board, and send it ahead, get the offense going to Muniz. Top of the circle, spot up three is on the way, and off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the middle of the paint by Godwin, kicks it out right wing. There's another three coming off the side of the iron. And missing that one was Navarro. Ball loose in the paint. Body's diving on the floor. We got some floor burns going on here. Boy, Godwin putting her body on the line, getting rolled over like a log, though, on top of her, the guard, Brooklyn Fuentes. They get the jump ball call. That will be Hobbs basketball, and the Lady Eagle bench is liking that one. They'd love to see Godwin just diving on the floor and taking on two or three Bulldogs with her. Inbound to the right block, once again to Godwin. Backs into her defender. Kick out right wing to Rivera. Cross court left over to Navarro. Coming back to get it top of the circle is Muniz. She finds Mendoza on the left wing. Fakes a three. Drives the lane. Spins left. And kicks it back up top to Rivera. Over to right side to Mendoza. Coming back to get is Muniz. Top of the circle. Dribbles on the right circle side. Throws up a three as the defender backed off. In and out, no good. Loose underneath the hoop and pulled down by Artesia. And a full court shot right after she got the ball. But well short of the rim. Pulling it down was Greer. You could not get it to drop. So a very quick third quarter. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles have a very substantial lead, 47-24 over Artesia. We will take a 60-second break, come back with more Hobbs Lady Hoops on Make It the Eagle 100.5 and also YouTube Hobbs Sports page. We start the fourth quarter here in Artesia. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles lead the Bulldogs 47-24. It is Artesia basketball. Pass to the free throw line. Kind of going up in the air. Coming down, Kirkendall throws up a shot off balance. And able to put it through the hoop. Kirkendall now has 11 points to lead Artesia. Now the Hobbs Lady Eagles in the front court. Muniz fired up a shot from the free throw line. In and out. Pulled down on the right block. On the rebound for Artesia. And with a quick dribble and a pass is Kraft. Bounce it to the timeline. In the hands of Prentice. Taking on Ross, who strips the basketball as it comes across the timeline. Going to her knees. It's Prentice to recover. Got stripped from behind again by Rivera. Picks it up. And now on the right wing for Artesia, trying to get out of traffic with everybody swamping her, is Kraft. Returns it back deep to Fuentes. Sends it to the left wing to Kraft. Bounce pass to the free throw line to Frederick. Goes back door, but overthrows her post player on the left block out of bounds. As that one was intended for Kirkendall. Several times they're trying to get it to Kirkendall, but they just can't get it down to where she needs to be able to reach out and get it. So a turnover going to give it back to Lady Eagles, who lead by 21, 47-26. 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth as we just started the finale. Coming across the timeline is Ross. Unloads to the left wing to Mojica. Mojica to the right side of the arc to Muniz, well outside. Gives it back to Mojica on the right corner. Trying to post it up down low to Armitage. Ball got knocked out, but chased at half court for the Lady Eagles to save it. Muniz and gives to Ross. Step back three on the left wing, off the back of the iron. Ball gets tipped out in the right corner. Looked like it last touched the hands of Fuentes, but they're going to give it back to Artesia as chasing her to that corner of the right side of the court, Mojica. And now the pressure's coming on. Some trap look here, a 2-2-1 full court. Yo-yo passing in the backcourt for Artesia. Frederick on the near side. Throws it to the time stripe high. Brought across by Fuentes. To the free throw line to Kirkendall. And she gets ripped from behind. They call the foul. As they're going to call that against the Lady Eagles. Muniz, that's her second. Ross led the team through three quarters with 25. Muniz was 7. Zepeda 5 and Armitage 4. Top scorer so far for the Lady Eagles, who lead by 21. Inbound to the right corner, a little bit light, is coming to try to get back to it as Frederick, and knocked out by the Hobbs Lady Eagles number 33, Muniz. Muniz guarding Frederick, both the same number. Knocks it out to the Artesia bench. He'll get it deep right corner to the front court. Inbounding is Kraft. She'll sing it back deep. Jumping in the air for it is Whitmire to bring it down. Pivoting into her defender, Mojica. Bounce pass to the timeline and fumbling it in the backcourt. Couldn't get a grip. Was Fuentes for another turnover, backcourt violation against Artesia. Not doing themselves any justice. When you're trailing by 21, you got to take care of the basketball. 6:13 remaining here in the fourth. Live here at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Ty Friend here with you. As the ball comes across the timeline to the left wing for the Lady Eagles. Muniz posting up to the left block, a pass, and getting shoved to the floor is Hardison. She tried to come back to the ball on the left of the paint, got knocked flat forward onto her face almost, and they're just going to say it was knocked out by Artesia, but very easily could have been called a foul there. Hardison not too happy about that push. Throw it back to Hardison on the inbound right block, and again, Artesia getting to the passing lane. They punch at it, and it goes off Hardison's hands out of bounds. So the Lady Eagles pick up a turnover. 47-26, Hobbs by 21. Bad inbound near the near left sideline. It gets knocked around. It gets booted back to the baseline, and bodies going to the floor as Mojica gets down on the hardwood with Avery Frederick for another jump ball call. And this one will be for the Hobbs Lady Eagles possession. Madison Zepeda will check back in for Hobbs, and Hardison will take a breather. She's been getting knocked to the floor a few times, and sure having a little bit of bruise action after a couple of those plays. The inbound backdoor to Ross on the right side. Good job of getting the passing lane again was Whitmire to knock it out. So Artesia not making it easy to get that in the paint on the inbound. Substitution for Artesia now is Peyton Barela, one of their senior centers. Hobbs will inbound from the right base. Mojica will do it and gets it into the right wing to Zepeda. Hard dribble with their left hand to the rack. Gets swatted from behind by Whitmire. Kind of a sidewinder swat at the basketball, but she came down on top as she got a piece of the ball first. Looked like pretty clean at the beginning, but then continued to come through on it and got the foul call. That's Whitmire's second and the first team foul here in the fourth quarter. That's going to put Zepeda on the line. First free throw attempts of the night. She has 5 points and misses off the front of the rim. Substitution now for Artesia is Desiree Savoy. Hobbs will stay on the court with Mojica. Also Muniz and Armitage. Free throw shot up and good on the second one for Zepeda. She's got 6. Actually got her down for 8 now. 5:40 left here in the fourth, 48-26. A bad dribble up the far right sideline, taken away by Armitage. Sends it ahead to the left block to Muniz. Backdoor to Ross. She misses the double clutch. And the ball comes off the rim and pulled down by Fuentes after another turnover by Artesia. But they have it now on the offensive side. Across the timeline is Whitmire far right. Tries a wraparound pass, stolen by Ross at the timeline. And then fumbles it ahead, picked up for Mojica and the Lady Eagles. She tries to pass up ahead to the Zepeda on the right base, and that one goes out of bounds. So both teams getting pretty sloppy here as we get through a couple of minutes of the fourth quarter. But Hobbs with a comfortable 22-point lead here in Artesia. And Hobbs not going to pull off the charges either. They got everybody matched up now on the full court pressure as the inbound comes to the inside the baseline to Fuentes in the backcourt. Gets picked up hard there by Zepeda. Bounce pass to the far right sideline. Holding it for a second is Kraft in front of the Hobbs bench. Kicks it across the timeline to Whitmire. Dribbles down the right side of the lane. Hippity hop. Turns and fires the double clutch. Gets swatted at. And coming out on top of her that time for the Lady Eagles was Areli Navarro. That'll pick up a foul on her. That's going to be her second personal. Stops the clock with 5:02 remaining in the fourth, 48-26. Hobbs up big time here. First shot is up, off the front of the rim, no good. Whitmire stays at 2 in the scorebook. Artesia picking off Roswell on Tuesday night. Or correct, yeah, I believe it was Roswell. Yeah, they won, I think it was a 3-point ball game. First shot, or second shot off the front of the rim, no good. Lady Eagles get the rebound in transition as Ross drives the right side of the lane after a cradle, gets blocked to the last minute and gets run over as she let go of the ball, so they get the foul still on the act of shooting. Nice little cradle and finger roll that time. Looked like a clean swat at the ball, but then they came down on top of her and ran her down on the baseline. Got crumpled up quite a bit on that one. As they'll get the foul call against the Bulldogs, Ashton Kraft, and he'll send Ross to the line. She's got 25 points, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, and misses off the front of the rim. 4:54 left, fourth quarter, 48-26. Hobbs by 22. Biggest lead has been 23 here in this second half, and getting ready to match that here with a hopefully second made free throw. Shot is up, and it's a good swish for Ross. 26 for her. Leading scorer for both teams. Quick inbound for Artesia in the backcourt. Fuentes, so drive to the far right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, still in the backcourt. Throws it back deep to Barela, the big center. Across the left side of the timeline. Caught by Savoy and throws it across again to Fuentes. Deep pass down to the left corner to Whitmire. She'll take a dribble, spins, gets stripped, taken away for the Lady Eagles by Zepeda. And then it's kind of deflected and picked up for the Lady Eagles by Navarro in the backcourt. Another turn for Artesia. Up ahead to Armitage, drives the lane, and she was getting hammered from behind as she was driving, so she kind of lunges to the basket and tries to act like she's shooting there to get the referee to bite, and she gets the two-shot foul on that one. Little acting award there. No, maybe they're going to call that on the floor. We'll have to wait and see. That'll be called against Kraft, her second. Nope, they're going to say that was on the floor, so it didn't work. She tried to throw that little late shooting motion there. She was coming down the lane. The defender was way behind her, so definitely a foul from behind. Substitute coming in for Artesia, Jordan Roan. She checks in for Kraft. Deep inbound to the right wing for the Lady Eagles, and Muniz fires it across to Ross, left wing. Cross court right to Zepeda. Stays on the right side, gives to Muniz in the right corner. Up top to Armitage. Driving to the right, blocked underneath the hoop on the baseline. Reverse slap up over the back of her head and scores. Boy, she just kind of puts out the radar to see if they're going to bite on it. That's her 6th point of the ball game. 3 buckets for Armitage. And a steal on the inbound. Takes it down the lane, gives over to Zepeda left side. 15-footer from the baseline and scores. Zepeda now with a total of 10 points. And that was another turnover for Artesia. 53-26. The Hobbs' biggest lead now is 27. With the dribble is Whitmire. Double team at the tie stripe. Tries to spin against Ross, and Zepeda beats him. Gets through both of them. Comes down the lane on a runner shot. Rolling off the back of the rim. No good. Put back up in the right block. Couldn't get it to drop by Roan. And the ball comes off the left iron. Got a jump ball. And it's going to be Artesia basketball underneath their hoop left side of the rim. They got a lot of catching up to do, down by 27 with 3:32 remaining here in the fourth. Remember, boys action continuing after this as we finally got our technical issues taken care of. The inbound to the left corner to Savoy. Keep it on the same side with a touch pass to Fuentes. Back to Savoy in the left corner. Tries to pass down to the left block. It's knocked away, intended for Whitmire. Stolen by you-know-who, Armitage. Sends it ahead to Zepeda with the lefty layup. 12 points now for Zepeda. They got 2 in double figures along with the 26 from Ross. And a biggest lead now is 29, 55-26. Artesia gets into the front court with a couple of passes. Fuentes now going to slow it down against Ross on the right wing. Throws it up top to the center. That's Barela. Returns up top again to Fuentes. To the left wing to Savoy. Tries to get it back to the free throw line to Barela. Ball tipped to the backcourt or to the stripe line. Pulled down and put down the lane by Fuentes on a runner shot at the back of the rim. And we got a jump ball on the rebound there. As going to the floor for it was Navarro for the Lady Eagles, tying up with Roan, and it will be Hobbs basketball. 2:48 left, fourth quarter. 55-26. The Lady Eagles up by 29 here in Artesia. Again, the Hobbs will be at home on Tuesday against Roswell High, and that's weather permitting. We don't know what this storm is going to do in the next few days. No-look pass for Zepeda up court to the right block. A double clutch. Thought she got fouled, but she pulls out of it. Ross throws it off the glass and scores. She's got 28 to lead both teams. Lady Eagles down by 31, their biggest lead, 4 away from the mercy roll. Pass down the lane to the other end for Artesia. Getting loose was Barella. Uncontested double clutch layup on the left side. Scores 57-28 Lady Eagles. Ross going to go the distance coast to coast. Tries to go up on two defenders on the layup on the right side and tries to split the difference. Got fouled going up. Ball came off the rim. But a chance for more free throws for Zoe Ross. Of course, her dad gets to watch her tonight. He's got a game after this, Coach Ronald Ross. That's going to be the fourth foul on Whitmire. Also the 14th foul against the Bulldogs. And Ross back on the stripe. She is 3 of 4 for 75%, 28 points. They'll make it 29. She makes the first. And 3 subs coming in for the Lady Eagles. That's going to be Hardison. Also coming on the court, Audrey Mackey seeing her first action. Of course, Mackey just a freshman. And Katie Godwin. 30-point lead for the Lady Eagles. As Zoe Ross looking to put her 30th point in the books here with the free throw made. Artesia going to go to the bench as well to bring in Ashton Kraft for Whitmire. 2:19 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs by 30. And trying to get 30 points is Ross, and she gets it. She's going to take a break, too, for the rest of the game. Checking in for her, Jordan Mendoza, as Ross will finish this game with 30 points. And she was 7 of 8 for the charity stripe. 59-28, Eagles up by 31. Passing the lane to Barrell in the backcourt. Going to be taking on the defensive Mendoza. Sails the ball down the left near sideline to Savoy. Saves it to herself left corner. Kicks it back deep to the time stripe to Kraft with 2:05 remaining. Stop and go dribble to the right wing with the spin now. Top of the circle, no look, bounce pass to the free throw line to Barela. Fires up a shot from the right elbow of the free throw line and puts it through. Barela with 2 of her buckets here in the fourth. That's all she scored, but both coming at big time here late in the contest. 59-30. In the front court of the right wing, pass to Mendoza, gets it to the right corner to Godwin. Behind her to Mackey, drives baseline, leans up and shoots on the right side glass and scores. Mackey just barely getting off the bench for her first bucket and went right to the defense like butter. 61-30, back to a 31-point lead. A ricochet on the pass to the half court for Artesia, coming off the chest of Frederick, and we got bodies crashing all over the place here. Actually, it was supposed to be going to Greer at the time stripe. As we stop the clock with 1:30 remaining in the fourth, Hobbs up 61-30. And Jason Farmer from the Hobbs Sun has just reminded me that last time Hobbs had a 30-point scorer was Amaya Lewis. She had 31 against Lubbock Coronado in 2015. Unfortunately, she will not be able to get 31 or 32 tonight or 33 because Ross, I think, is out for the rest of the game with 1:20 remaining. And that was because of a substitution. I don't think she's worried about that right now with a 31-point lead for Lady Eagles. Artesia basketball in the front court. Pivoting is Barela, trying to thread the needle in the paint and gets a pass into the middle of the paint to Zaylee Greer. It looks like somebody was holding her there for the Lady Eagles. They're going to charge that foul to Katie Godwin, her second. And that'll give Artesia the basketball underneath their hoop on the left side. Both teams have 4 fouls. Kind of a moot point now with just 1:11 remaining and a Hobbs 31-point lead. Inbound left corner to Greer in the front court. Keeps it same side left with the pass to Savoy. Nice pressure being put on by Mackey. Tries to pass left corner. It's taken away in the air by Navarro. And Artesia fouls her as she tries to draw up the near right sideline. They call the foul against Artesia. Desiree Savoy. That'll be her first. And that'll be the 15th foul. So Hobbs in the double bonus. So Navarro does have 2 points. He'd like to make it 4 with a couple of free throws here with 1:01 remaining. Trying to get the biggest lead of the game. Right now at 31. And the first one's up and out of the rim, no good. She'll get 1 more, though. 1:01 remaining, 61-30, Lady Eagles. Second shot is up, and it's a swish for Navarro. She's got 3 points. 59 seconds remaining. Hobbs by 32, their biggest lead. Pass deflected at the timeline, taken away from the Lady Eagles by Mendoza. Top of the circle. She'll back it out to set up the offense. Comes right, unloads the pass to Navarro. Tries to get a back right elbow, throws it behind Godwin, stripped away and taken in transition by Kraft. Spins on the left block, doesn't shoot, kicks out left wing to Savoy, fires up a 3 off the left iron, and it goes off so hard to the Artesia bench, far right court, trying to save it was Greer, ran right into her teammates on the bench, and it will be Hobbs basketball with just 35 seconds remaining. Kind of expect Coach Carpenter to let the clock run on this final possession with no shot clock. 34 and ticking now. 32-point lead as Mackey will bring it across. Gives a pass on the right wing to Navarro. She'll drive hard to the right baseline, put on the brakes near the paint. Sinks it down the left corner. Mendoza's got a wide open three off the back of the iron, no good. Ball tipped underneath the hoop. We got bodies for it, and Mackey kind of shoved. They called the foul. As getting in position underneath the basket was Barela to pull the rebound down, and Mackey extended her arms on her. So that'll be her first. And that'll be the 15th foul. Both teams in the double bonus. I said it was a moot point a few seconds ago, but I guess we're going to see free throws to finish up this game. And on the line will be Peyton Barela, who's got 2 buckets here in the fourth. She's got 4 points. First free throw's up, and it is in and out, no good. She'll get one more. Don't forget Hobbs Eagle boys next. They'll be taking on Artesia here, the defending 4A state champs. Of course, Hobbs beat them pretty bad last year, but this team is ready to go. Both of them are, in fact. Second shot is off the front of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop for the Lady Eagles was Hardison getting the rebound, and a big jab step, unloads to the near sideline to bring it across to Navarro with 9 seconds remaining. Cross court left to Mendoza, takes a dribble to the top of the circle, extends to the right side of the lane. It's stripped at the free throw line from behind by Rome for the Lady Eagles turnover. She'll put up a shot from the top of the arc at the buzzer, and it'll come off the rim, no good. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles, big victory here in Artesia, 62-30, a win by 32, not quite mercy rule, but getting very close. Hobbs extends their record to 18-2 and dropping their opponent down to 11-8, Artesia. We will take a 3-minute break, and it wrapped up here from the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Stay with us live with Hobbs Lady Eagle Hoops on the Eagle 100.5 on the Facebook page and on HobbsAmerica.com and the YouTube Hobbs Sports page. Welcome back live to the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball victorious tonight, 62-30 over Artesia. A 32-point win for Coach Carpenter and the crew, running their record to 18-2 on the season. And Artesia dropping to a total of, what was their record now? As I get ready to say it, and I forgot it. Boy, a flustering night here. 11-8 record for Artesia, who's currently ranked 15 in the 4A. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles at number 1 as of this week. Leading scorer for Artesia, Grayson Kirkendall. She finished with 11 points, was 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Nobody else in double digits, even close. Peyton Barela had a couple of buckets in the fourth quarter with 4 points. Ashton Kraft had 4 as well. It was Jordan Roan hitting a 3 for 3 points, and 4 for Avery Frederick. And Brooklyn Fuentes with a bucket for 2 points. Jenna Whitmire with 1 bucket for 2 as well. They had a total of 7 scores in this ball game. And again, their final numbers were 30 overall in the contest. Lots of turnovers, double digits for Artesia in this ball game. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles led in scoring by Zoe Ross with 30 points in the contest. Definitely dishing it in for the Hobbs squad as usual. She was on the line a total of 8 times. It was 7 of 8 from the charity stripe in the victory. And always ahead of the pass on the transition, too, to take it to the hoop, even after some steals and turnovers for Artesia. Madison Zepeda, second leading scorer with 12 points in the contest. She did hit a 3 in the ball game, went 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Was Kaysen Muniz with 7 points, including a tray in the game. Eliana Armitage had 6 points and doing her job as usual on the defense, double teaming people, stripping and going with it. Other scores for Lady Eagles, Aurelie Navarro had a bucket and a 1 for 2 free throw shooting. Audrey Mackey late in the game came in with a nice drive to the hoop for 2 points. And Zaylee Harnison also with the bucket for 2. Eagles had 7 scores in the books, the same amount as Artesia, but had 32 more points in the victory for this one. Apologize, we don't have the full stats for you as we were off the air for about a half there with technical difficulties. We do apologize for that, and those of you got a chance to see the second half, thanks for keeping with us and getting a chance to watch the action. So final score once again for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, 62-30 over Artesia. Next up for Hobbs, they will be playing Roswell to start district. So that should be some exciting stuff for Hobbs there at Task Arena Tuesday night as they'll get the district schedule going. Now earlier this season, Artesia beat Roswell by 3, 40-37. So a good impressive game there for Artesia, beating a 5A school to get things going earlier in the season. So don't know if that has anything to do with the game coming up on Tuesday, but it just kind of gives you an idea that if Hobbs can beat this Artesia team by 30 plus, maybe we'll see what happens with Roswell coming up on Tuesday night. So we'll have that game for you, of course. That will be on the Eagle 100.5 Facebook page and also on YouTube as well, HobbsAmerica.com, getting you all the coverage as usual. Final score once again, 62-30. Hobbs victorious over Artesia in Lady Eagle Hoops action. I'd like to thank Evie back at the station. For Allison Friend on camera, Jessica Friend on the scoreboard, TJ Miracle, our manager, and helping us out with some of the tech issues tonight. Also, again, thanks to KSVP TV and radio helping us out with the cord that we needed very badly to get this back on the air at halftime. So thanks to Gene Dow and the rest of the gang at KSVP Radio. Ty Friend here, going to stay on here in just a couple of minutes for the Hobbs boys. We'll come on to YouTube right after this game and start with the pregame show. We'll go to the radio as well at Cool 95.7. So stay with us. We're glad you're here already. Welcome, everyone, to the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Ty Friend here with Hobbs Eagle Basketball, live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page for you. Live action tonight as your Hobbs Eagles take on the defending 4A state champs Artesia Bulldogs here at the orange and black court. Your Hobbs Eagles trying to get a win as they played a tough game this past week against Cleveland High School. One of the top teams in the state of New Mexico were ahead of that game for most of it. Ended up losing a close one, 79-77. Lots of guys stepping up, and a big-time return for Malachi David, who finished with 24 points and 9 rebounds in that ball game, almost a double-double for him after he sat out 5 games prior due to the leg injury that got him out of the season last year, but definitely came on big in that game against Cleveland. And Hobbs looked like they had a lot more firepower out there, some more motivation, and looked like they were to get a W out of that contest, but unfortunately, Cleveland was able to withstand the deficits throughout the game and then come back on top. They're ranked number 1 in the Max Preps poll. If Hobbs would have knocked them off last week, that would have done some numbers to that whole top 10 in the state of New Mexico. Lyric Soria also getting a great game as well. He had 22 points, a total of 5 3-pointers for the cause. That means David and Soria combined for 46 of the Hobbs Eagles' 77 points. Get close to double digits, Josiah Clay with 9 points. He had 3 of 4 free throw shooting for the Eagles as well. Darius Proby finished up with 7. So those were the top scores for Hobbs. They had 9 3-pointers in the ball game, 5 of those coming from Lyric Soria. So again, the big man, Malachi David with his return had a couple of trays as well. And so did Darius Proby with 1 to help out the scoring for the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs, in terms of rebounding, did get more boards in Cleveland, too, 28-20. And when Hobbs is on that winning streak, that's what we were seeing. If you won the glass, you won the game. And unfortunately, when David went down, that takes away close to 8-9 rebounds a contest when he was gone, and that kind of hurt the squad. And not a lot of guys were stepping up for the glass in those days of absence for David. But when he got back on the team, it seemed like everybody crashing hard for Hobbs and got the 28-20 differential on the rebounds in that game. The problem with the contest was the turnovers. Hobbs with 3 times more turnovers, 15 compared to 5 for Cleveland. That could have been the undoing for the Eagles in that one, and Cleveland came back in that fourth quarter to get the win. In fact, they were able to pretty much control the game in this fourth quarter as they ended up with a total of 29 points in the fourth. Hobbs just finished up with 13. So that was the big change-up for the Cleveland Storm to get the win. And they ended up getting that number 1 Max Preps poll ranking as well. Free throw situation for Hobbs, 10 of 16 for 62%. Cleveland not much better, though, at 65% in the contest. So the Hobbs Eagles, though, with the loss, they're going to drop down to number 7 in the Max Preps poll with a 12-7 record. And again, the team they're playing tonight, Artesia, ranked number in the championship game. Now, just this past Tuesday, they were beat by Roswell from the Hobbs Eagle District, 76-66. And Artesia losing that game primarily due to turnovers. They had 20 compared to 15 for Roswell, and that kind of did their undoing. In terms of scoring for the Artesia Bulldogs, regardless of the loss, they did manage to see some good production from several players on the squad in that game, including Charlie Campbell. He's that senior 6'4" player. He finished with 24 points. Braylon Vega, who transferred from Hobbs a couple of seasons back, he's been getting over 20s in quite a few games this season. He ended up with 18. And one other guy in double digits was Trent Eglin, who finished with 10. So those guys combining for 52 of the Artesia, 66 points. Not much help coming off the bench for the game for Artesia in that contest. And boy, they got a lot of points from Jerry Sombrano, 33 for Roswell in that 10-point victory. Now, they did win the Hope Christian tournament, did Artesia, beating the host team, Hope Christian, 79-58. So they beat them by 21. If you remember back to the APS Metro tournament, that was a team that beat the Hobbs Eagles, and that was in the final game of the consolation bracket, the 4th day, losing to Hope Christian. So Artesia beat that team by 21. So kind of makes you open your eyes a little bit to kind of hope that Hobbs is going to come back and take care of business. Braylon Vega dishing in 25 points in that game with 3 rebounds, so he definitely doing some scoring. Charlie Campbell showed up again with 22 in that game, 5 rebounds and 7 assists. He's one of their big kids. And the Eglin kid finished with 13 points and 10 rebounds for a double-double. This team is very athletic. They like to trap. They're physical. They got football players, state champions in football as well. 33 state championships with the gridiron team throughout the years of the program for football. But basketball, again, the championship last year, a couple times before that as well. Artesia can play some hoops, and you can guarantee you one thing, that Coach Mondragon is going to have this team fired up on their home court. Last year, the Hobbs Eagles completely annihilated Artesia 88-54. And that was at Tasker Arena, so a little bit of a different venue in that situation. But really the Hobbs Eagles dominating in the second half. They scored a total of 59 points in the second half compared to just 30 for Artesia. So 29 more points, 31-18 in the third quarter, 28-11 in the fourth for that victory. Now returning players from the Eagles, Lyric Soria finished with 10 in that game, Josiah Clay had 9, and Javen Hernandez finished with 4. Top scorer for Hobbs, though, was Abraham Payton, who graduated, of course. He had 25. Peyton Hodge had 19, and Parker Henderson with 10. There's some returners from the team last year for Artesia, too. Charlie Campbell dumping in 17 against Hobbs last year. Trent Eglin had 13. Braylon Vega only 8, so his scoring was a little bit down in that contest, but those were the top scorers in the contest. Hobbs really dominated defensively, especially in the second half. They had 14 steals in the game compared to just 2 for Artesia. But Artesia won the battle of the boards, 43-29. Eglin with 10, Campbell with 9, and Kincaid with 7. Now, Kincaid is another player we haven't talked much about yet, Clay Kincaid. He is starting tonight. He's a senior, 6'8", their biggest body out there. He did sit out during the Hope Christian tournament, did not play in those games, just kind of like Malachi David for the Hobbs Eagles at the APS Metro. He did not play against Roswell this past Tuesday night in the 10-point loss, but guess what? He is suited up for the Hobbs Eagles here at the Bulldog Pit Court in Artesia. It should be a battle. Your Hobbs Eagles are currently ranked number 7 in the Max Preps poll in the 5A, taking on number 1 Artesia from the 4A. We're going to take a 2-minute break, get ready for the national anthem and the introductions live here in Artesia. Please stay with us. Back live here in Artesia as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Artesia Bulldogs. Again, this game moved up from Friday due to some impending weather conditions around the Lee County, West Texas area with snow and ice and cold temperatures, so they decided to move it up till tonight. The girls, of course, just got done defeating Artesia 62-30, so 18-2 record for Coach Carpenter and the crew. Hobbs boys, again, last year winning big 88-54 over Artesia at Tasker Arena. Hobbs currently sitting at number 7 in the Max Preps poll. Cleveland, Las Cruces, Rio Rancho, Volcano Vista, La Cueva, Farmington, and then Hobbs. And Hobbs with a 13.5 strength of schedule. That currently ranks them in 4th place in the state in terms of the toughest schedules around. Of course, the Artesia Bulldogs, #1 in the state in terms of the Max Preps poll in the 4A after winning the Hope Christian tournament. Of course, they beat some tough teams too. Taos, they won the championship against Hope Christian, and they are currently ranked 2nd in the Max Preps poll too in the 4A. So this team gets tested just like the Hobbs Eagles do. Of course, Artesia also hosts their own tournament here earlier in the season, so they definitely get a lot of combinations. All 4 of their losses for Artesia are to 5A schools: Rio Rancho, Carlsbad, Albuquerque High, and Roswell High this past Tuesday. Some people were calling that an upset too. They thought Artesia should have won that ball game, but you know, that Roswell team's very scrappy. They're physical. They're kind of like a street smart type of team. They kind of play rough, get physical with you. They're not going to mess around, and they're a team that's got hard to determine what's going to happen game after game, but they definitely have themselves ready. Hobbs got to play them next week to start off District 2 next Tuesday night on the road, so they better be ready for that team. Coach Barola had them ready for Artesia. That was on Roswell's home court, and that's kind of an arch rival matchup, not too far away miles-wise. And again, Roswell getting the win in that one. In the semifinals of the Hope Christian tournament, Artesia beating St. Pius 64-48. In that game, Campbell had 22, Vega had 21, and Vega's been getting a lot of strings at 20-pluses. They caused 19 turnovers for St. Pius to get themselves into that championship game. And then, of course, we already mentioned the win over Hope Christian, the 25 from Vega, 22 from Campbell, those two combining for 47 points. One thing about them, too, is they keep control of the basketball, too. They only had 7 turnovers in that game against Hope Christian. So that was on a hostile small court there at Hope Christian, kind of a packed house environment. Kincaid is back, of course. We mentioned that a few minutes ago. He's been injured, been out for about 4 or 5 games, including the Hope Christian tournament. So big man, 6'8", going to match up with Malachi David, the big man for the Hobbs Eagles. The starters for Hobbs, a little bit of a change-up on the roster. Malachi David is back again, second game in a row, coming after that 24 points against the Cleveland Storm last week. Lyric Soria returns. He leads the team with 3-point shots this season and definitely stroking it well. 43 trays so far. Going back to Malachi David, he is currently averaging 14.7 points a game and close to 8 rebounds a contest. He is second on the team with 22 3-pointers as a big man, 6'8", and he can definitely shoot from the outside as well. Josiah Clay, pretty steady guy out there for your Hobbs Eagles too. 11.4 points a game. One of the better free throw shooters as well for the season too. Currently sitting in the mid-70s for the Hobbs Eagles. Getting his first start, Jadarius Lowe. He's ready to go as well. Very scrappy kid. He'll chase the ball for you. And he's going to be at the guard position for the Hobbs Eagles, averaging 2.2 a game. Like to see some more scoring from him. He's going to get that opportunity tonight here in Artesia. And Darius Proby's had quite a few starts this season, averaging 5.6 points a game. And definitely could use his rebounding and physicality for the Eagles. For the Artesia side, the starters, Charlie Campbell, 6'4", Braylon Vega, 6'2", former Hobbs Eagle, of course, one of the top scorers for the Artesia team. Trent Eglin, who's a very physical player. Kale Hotling, of course, the Hotling name been around for a long time, football and basketball in the Artesia area, lots of Hotlings in the programs. And Clay Kincaid returns, as we mentioned, the senior, 6'8", post, 200 pounds. Going up against Malachi David, who's also 6'8". David gets a quick snap on the tip into the front court to Proby. High-arching layup gets blocked on the left baseline and is picked up from the big man. That is Kincaid. He dishes out into the front court. Driving the lane is Vega, goes back door and over the top of the rim with the tip. Trent Eglin quickly for Artesia, who leads early, 2-0. Just underway here at Artesia as your Bulldogs take on, or the Bulldogs take on your Hobbs Eagles. Into the front court. Low on unloads to Surrey on the right wing in front of the Artesia bench. Jab step. He's guarded by Charlie Campbell. Stop and go. Keeps on the right wing. Trying to get some help. Up top is Proby. Get the pass. One dribble and stops. Hands it back to Soria. Over to left wing to Josiah Clay. Stop and go. Fakes the hand off to David and backs up to the timeline. 7:15 left first quarter. Hobbs down by 2. Gives it off to David on the left wing. Up top to Proby. Wide open 3 on the way. The big man backed off of him. Kincaid. And that gives enough time for him to shoot, but it's out the front of the rim. Rebound for Artesia. Pulled down by Vega. Dish off to the right elbow to Eglin. Gives it off to the right wing to Hotley. Dumps it back to Vega on the right block. He's pivoting. Thought he was going to do a hook shot. Instead passes deep left wing to Campbell. Bounce it to the timeline to Hotley. Taking on Clay. Two-hand bounce pass to Campbell on the left wing. Fires up an alley-oop over the front of the rim, and it's tipped over the back of his head, putting it through the hole for Artesia to put it through for his First bucket of the ball game, that was Cal Hotling. Thought he was just shooting a three on that one, but just kept it right above the rim for a tip in. 4-0 early for Artesia. In the front court, David, top of the arc. He's going to go hard. Taking on his defender, Eglin, drives to the rack, tries to throw it up. He stumbles stats before shooting. They call the travel. First turnover for the Hobbs Eagles. Eagles going to match up now, full court pressure. On the baseline left side of the paint is Eglin. Bounces it into the left corner to Vega. Back deep to Eglin. Double team with a couple of guys, Lowe and Clay. Throws it across the timeline, down to the right wing. Faking a three, driving baseline is Campbell. They're going to call a hold. Proby got burned on the head fake there, and then reached out and grabbed his arm as he went around him on the baseline. That'll be the foul on Proby. First personal, first team foul against the Eagles. Artesia basketball on the near sideline, right in front of the scorer's table. My wife having fun adjusting the camera to that one if you're watching on the internet right now. That's Allison Friend, Jessica Friend on scoreboard tonight. Bounce pass to the timeline to Campbell. Give off left elbow to Kincaid. Back door. Vega misses the lefty layup that time. Pulled down by the Eagles by the big man, Malachi David, his first rebound. Give it off to Sori at the time stripe, top of the circle. Getting a screen from Proby, uses it, dribbles right elbow, fires up a Rainbow's jumper off the back of the rim. No boards for the Eagles, but waiting for it underneath the hoop was Hotling. He throws it up ahead to a breaking Eglin with a big head fake, misses the push shot left block, goes back up with his rebound and scores with two hands. Eglin 4 points and a rebound. It's already 6-0. Artesia. Coach Ross doesn't like the trend he's seeing, calls a timeout. 5:38 left, first quarter. Artesia 6, Hobbs nothing. Back in 30 seconds of the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles trailing early here in the first quarter. Artesia 6-0. And Braddock Beatty, who didn't start this game, has checked in for the Eagles. Staying out there is Clay, Soria, David, Proby. Hobbs basketball after their timeout. Already a 4-1 rebound margin in favor of Artesia. Eglin with 4, Hotling with 2. Hobbs yet to score. Soria will come across the timeline with the dribble after the inbound. Gives it to Beatty on the left wing. Right on top of him is Vega. Down to David on the left baseline, gets double team, hook shot in the paint, sidewinder hook over the front of the rim and scores. He extended that big arm out there and just flicked it with his fingertips. His first in the right corner. Gives off in the right wing to Hotling. To the right elbow, to Kincaid. Spinning in the paint against David, fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim, no good. And David's the man to rip it down. 6'8"ers going at it. Outlet to Beatty in the front court, right wing. Comes down the lane, shot from the free throw line off the front of the rim. No offensive rebounding for the Eagles. Pulled down underneath by Eglin, his second. Throws it across the timeline to Campbell on the left wing, guarded by Beatty. He'll back out in front of Coach Ross on the bench and give it off on the left side to Vega behind him. Fires up a three off the back of the iron. At the top of the arc for the rebound is Soria with his first rebound for the Eagles. 2-on-3, shot from the right elbow in traffic and scores with the J. Lyric Soria in the books now. It's 6-4. Eagles on a 4-0 run after trailing with a 6-0 run to Artesia early. The bouncer into the inbound to Vega left corner. Back deep to the baseline, backcourt to Eglin. Bounce it near sideline to Hotling. Bounce it across the timeline to Campbell. He tries to go up with two hands, gets swatted at by David. Almost looked like Campbell was going to try to dunk over David, and David has put his big tree arms up there and kind of swayed at him and Cowell on top of him for a foul. But did stop a layup over the top or potential dunk action for 6'4" Charlie Campbell. Called the foul on David. His first or second team foul on the Eagles, and that'll put Campbell on the line. First shot, taking a little time to release it, and he puts it through. Campbell's first points of the game, his one free throw. He was the leading scorer for Artesia from last year's game, 17 for the Bulldogs, although they lost big at Task Arena, 88-54. Hobbs winning by 34, a mercy roll final on that one. Or actually one shot of mercy roll. 35 is normally the number there. Second shot coming for Campbell to extend the lead to 4 and gets it. 2 for 2 on the line. Campbell 8-4. Artesia 4:18 remaining in the first. Lyric Soria now dribbling behind his back in the front court. Defensive be a turnover for the Eagles, their second. Both teams with 2 turnovers. 3:20 left first quarter. Artesia by 5, 11-6. The inbound comes into Campbell on the near side. Dribbling through his legs, looking back to Coach Monaghan for the play call. Picked up by Beatty at the time stripe. Dishes to the free throw line to Kincaid. Turnaround Jay off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Sanders, who just checked in. Jalen Sanders with his first rebound. Out to half court to David. To Soria on the right wing in front of the Artesia bench. Return to David. Fakes an NBA 3 top of the circle. Coming back to get it's Beatty from the left side. Comes around the left circle. Gives to Mora. Wide open left corner. Firing away again. This one off the rim, though, left side. And pulled down in transition for Artesia by Vega, his second board. Comes down the lane. Runs over Proby. Or make that Soria. Completely annihilates Soria in the lane to put his body on the line. Gets the charge. So Vega will get his first personal. First team foul against Artesia here in the first. And their third turnover. Good job for Soria. Was not going to step away from that charge. And took the brunt of it. 11-6, 5-point lead for Artesia. Their biggest lead has been 6 to start the game at 6-0. In the front court comes Soria. Will be picked up by Campbell. Unloads to Moore on the right wing. Gives it back to Soria. Fakes a 3, jab step. Underhands it right corner to Beatty. Dribbles to the outside the three-point arc right side. Throws up an air ball, unfortunately. He clapped his hands and then he let go of it because he knew that was not going to have enough velocity. And it sails out of bounds to the left baseline. Coach Ross going back to his bench to return Proby to the court. David going to get some breather here. He is wearing one of those rubber extenders around his knee right now. Of course, he had the injury, was out 5 games because of that. The brace for the Eagles, big man. He'll take a breather. 11-6, Eagles down by 5. Vega comes in the front court, uses up his dribble, wrap around to the right elbow to Campbell. Campbell back out against Proby on the near sideline, right in front of our scoring booth here. Stop and go. Bounce pass to the right wing. Given up to Corbin Dominguez. He spins, puts up a shot in and out of the rim, no good. Pulled down underneath by Mora, his second board. Gives it off to Beatty. Beatty with the dribble in the front court. On the right circle. He'll continue to the hoop, right side. Throws up a double clutch off the glass and is fouled. He'll get 2 free throws. Ball came over the rim. They'll call that one against Corbin Dominguez. His second team foul was a shooting situation. That puts Beatty on the line. On the season, he is shooting 63% for the Eagles. Trying to get himself in the scorebook and does so with the swish on his first. Hobbs 1 for 1 on the line. Coach Ross, I believe I was told that a couple days ago that Byers is being drafted pretty heavily by the college ranks, playing some baseball. I think I heard he might be going to Arizona State. Texas Tech was after him too. Definitely a real good baseball player. But right now on the line, Charlie Campbell, another good athlete for the Bulldogs, and nails his 3rd in a row free throw. He's got 6 points to lead his Bulldogs. Right now, the Eagles got a logjam for first scoring. Braddock Beatty, Malachi David, Lyric Soria, and Adrian Mora, all with 2 points apiece. One more for Campbell now on the free throw line. Up and good, swish. He's 4 for 4, 7 points total, 13-8. Artesia by 5. 1:25 left first quarter. Lowe comes across the timeline on the right wing. Bounce pass low to David on the right baseline against 2 defenders. Kick back to Proby right wing. Over to David in front of the Artesia bench right side. High shot on the 3. Comes out the right rim. Pulled down by Artesia's Charlie Campbell, his first. On the boards as he comes across the timeline. Driving hard right elbow. Leans and shoots against Sanders. Gets it to drop over the rim and a foul. And they went eyebrow to eyebrow that time. Got to bonk their heads together. Count the bucket. Sanders' 2nd in a row foul. So Jalen Sanders now with 2. He's going to have to come out. That's the 15th foul. Double bonus coming for Artesia, although that was a made bucket. Campbell now putting some points on for his Bulldogs with 9 total. And he'll get a chance for 10 here. 4 for 4 on the charity stripe. Shot is up, and it's a good 3-point play. 10 points for Campbell to lead both teams. 4 for Eglin and 2 for Hotling for the Bulldogs. Proby will take a seat. Beatty's on the court. Soria's returned. Jadarius Lowe stays out there along with Malachi David. Inbound to Soria with 1 minute left first quarter. Artesia doubling up on the Eagles, 16-8, their biggest lead. In the front court, Soria going to slow it down. Waits for Lowe to come over to the left wing, gets the pass, holds on to it, looking for somebody to post up top to Soria instead. Backing up a little bit on D's, Kale Hotling. Screen from David, drives left elbow, kick back to Lowe on the left wing, slides to the top of the arc with a dribble, and underhands it back to Josiah Clay. Steps and shoots a 3 top of the arc. In and out, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Eglin. Eagles not getting a lot of second chances on the missed 3s. Eglin's 3rd board. Gets it over across the timeline to Hotling. Taking on Soria, sliding right with the dribble. Give it to the near sideline to Dominguez. Back deep to the time stripe to Hotling with 24 seconds left first quarter. They're up by 8. To Vega and the return to the timeline to Hotling. Kick it to the near sideline to Dominguez. Guarded closely by Beatty right in his hips. Returns to the time stripe to Hotland. Good D by the Eagles. Extend the pass bar left sideline to Byers. To the top of the arc to Vega. Thought about a three, but had two defenders. Goes reverse layup instead, right side, left to right, and is rejected by Malachi David on the help side. Coming from the middle of the lane to the right of the lane to swat it right in front of his teammate, Josiah Clay. And that'll go out of bounds on the right baseline. Still Artesia basketball. 16-8, 4.2 remaining in the first. Inbounding on the right baseline for the Bulldogs. Hotling, alley-oop, brought down on the right block, and Cade goes back up. Point blank shot, no good, but tip back up and in at the buzzer. Count it with two hands on the right glass on the tip drill. Corbin Dominguez. That will end the first quarter with the big lead for Artesia, double digits, 18-8 over the Hobbs Eagles. We will take a 60-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle Hoop on the radio, Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We start the second quarter here in Artesia as the Bulldogs, the home team, lead the Eagles 18-8. Top scorer for Artesia, Charlie Campbell with 10. And for your Hobbs Eagles, 4 players with 2 apiece, Beatty, David, Soria, and Mora. Artesia basketball, 3-shot in the left corner, hard off the rim, taken by Campbell, rebound Soria, pass up court to Beatty, double clutch on the right glass for the layup. Beatty with 4 points, rebound from Soria, that's his second. It's 18-10, Eagles were down by 10 at the first quarter break. We're out rebounded 10-6 in the first quarter. 3 turnovers for Artesia, 2 for the Eagles. And Artesia basketball now in the front court. With the dribble comes Charlie Campbell. Unloads to the left wing to Vega. Vega dump it to the left baseline to Eglin. Drives underneath the hoop. Fadeaway jumper from the left block. In and out, no good. Pulled down by Malachi David near the rim. His third rebound. Throws it across to Clay. 2-on-3. With a cradle to the left block. Throws up a double clutch, and it looked like he got fouled. No call, but lays it off the glass for 2. Looked like he got bumped pretty hard by Clay Kincaid that time, but Clay now with his first bucket. 18-12, a 6-point lead for Artesia. Biggest lead was 10 here in the second quarter. Slowing it down now is Campbell as he comes across with a pass down to the right corner. Give it to Hotling. Bounce pass on the baseline, taken by Proby. Takeover by the Eagles. That's turnover number 4 for Artesia. Proby will give it off to Soria on the right wing. Give it up top to Proby. They said he shuffled his feet. That'll be a travel. 3 turnovers for the Eagles. 6:41 left second quarter. 18-12 Artesia. Hobbs will open up their district on Tuesday on the road at Roswell. A team that beat Artesia earlier this week by 10 points. Of course, Roswell in the same district as the Hobbs Eagles. Into the front court comes Campbell. Unloads left elbow to Kincaid. Pass down low, left block. Give it to Eglin. Kick it out. Back up top again to Campbell to reset. Quick dribble to the right elbow. Backs it out to the right wing and looks back to Coach Monaghan at the time stripe. Beatty will slide right with him. Comes around the left circle. Does Campbell off the dribble. One hands it up top to Kincaid. Kick it out to the right wing to Vega. Soria right in his shorts. Dump it down low, right block to Eglin. Hook shot with his left hand in the middle of the paint on a spin move and puts it through the hole. Eglin now with 6 points. Second leading scorer for Artesia. 20-12. Soria quickly in the front court. Stop and go. Get to Proby left corner. Dribbles to the free throw line. Back deep to Josiah Clay, and Beatty will come back to get it at the time stripe to set up the offense. He'll take on Vega. Puts a jump stop in the right wing. Give to Soria. His 3 on the way and good. Big swish there for Mr. Soria. His 5th point of the ball game. First trade for the Eagles. It's 20-15. Artesia. Campbell comes across hard with the dribble, then turns and looks back at Coach Monaghan at the timeline again. Wants to see what play to set up. Wraparound pass to the right elbow to Eglin. Pivots, gives it back to Charlie Campbell. Give and go. Spin move right baseline. Double clutch from the right block. Leans to the hoop, puts it off the glass and scores, and is fouled from behind. Campbell now with 12 points, lead the Bulldogs And the foul against the Eagles. They'll charge that one to Beatty, his first team foul. The foul count in the first quarter was 5-2 in favor of Artesia with the 2 fouls. And Campbell trying to make it a 3-point play. He did it before at the end of the first quarter. Beatty will take a breather. Low back on the court for Hobbs. And remain with Clay, Proby, Soria, and David. As we await the free throw for Campbell, who is perfect, 5 for 5. The only guy that has shot free throws so far for Artesia. Beatty 2 for 2 for Hobbs. Shot is up, and it is bounced around the rim and good. Campbell now with 13 to lead the Bulldogs. He'll take a break, and coming in for him is Corbin Dominguez. 23-15, Hobbs down by 8 with 5:20 left first half. Across the timeline comes Soria. Gives it off to Lowe on the right wing in front of the Artesia bench. Kick it back to Soria, give and go on the right baseline. Dribbles back to the corner, come to their elbow, fakes a shot. 1-2 and up with a little push shot off the right rim, no good. Rebound pulled down for Artesia, and Clay Kincaid is second, the 6'8" post player. Gives behind in the backcourt to Hotling, driving hard across the timeline near side against Soria. Back up top to Kincaid. The 2 big men facing each other, David and Kincaid. Top of the circle, give off to the right wing to Eglin, drives the right corner and puts on the brakes. Good D by Proby. Bounce pass behind as he gives it off to Dominguez. He'll drive the lane off the cradle, windmill layup on the right glass and scores. Went right to the rack that time to Dominguez. He's got 4. 25-15, match their biggest lead at 10 is Artesia. In the front court, Clay with a crossover. Finds Proby wide open, left corner for 3 off the right rim though. Rebound on the right baseline, brought down for Artesia. With the dribble and then the bounce pass is Dominguez. Throws it and gets it back from Byers on the left wing. There's a whistle underneath. Looks like there might be a hold here. And Hobbs looks like they're going to get the basketball back. Waiting to see the signal on this call. It looks like they're just going to call the travel, I guess. And that's going to be Artesia's 5th turnover. They're not showing any foul on that one. Beatty will return for Hobbs. Clay will take a breather. And it's a 25-15 ball game in favor of Artesia. 4:24 left first half. Surrey in the front court. Once the rotations, he comes to the right side of the arc. Throws it deep down to David, right corner. Fakes a 15-footer. Waiting to get some help here. Hands off behind to Beatty on the right wing. Still in front of the Artesia bench. Back to David again. Yo-yo pass. Fadeaway 3 in the right corner off the back of the rim. Mora tries to battle for the rebound in the middle of the paint, but brought down for Artesia. And Corbin Dominguez, his 3rd board. Gets it up court to Campbell on the right wing. Crossover, step back, fake 3 on the top of the arc. Pass to Vega right wing, gets it back to Campbell. Throws up an air ball in the paint. Rebound by Beatty. Beatty's first board. Dribbles in the front court for the Eagles. Crossover move down the paint. Fakes it right, turns and fires a shot from the left side of the paint off the front of the rim. Clinked around a couple of times. Pulled down by Dominguez, 2nd in a row rebound. He's got 4 total. 25-15 Artesia. 3:35 left second quarter. Bounce pass in the front court to Vega. Well outside the arc as Soria will pick him up at the timeline. Dumps it to the left elbow to Eglin. He pivots. Bounce it over to Dominguez on the left wing. Driving the lane right side. Gives it back to Vega, right corner. Quick 3 on the way. Hard shot off the rim, no good. David on the right circle is the rebounder. His 4th of the game. Almost a double-double against Cleveland on last week's action. To Beatty on the right wing. Fadeaway 3 off the back of the iron. Waiting for it underneath is Vega. No Eagles crashing the boards that time. 3rd for Vega off the glass. Gets it back deep to Campbell. He'll take on Lowe one-on-one, dribbling behind his back. Now in the front court with 3 minutes left first half. One-hand bounce pass to Vega right wing. Drives baseline against Soria. He kind of gets a chest into him and kind of bounces him almost to the baseline that time for the foul. That's going to be Soria's first. 2nd team foul against the Eagles here in the second quarter. Artesia had the ball on the right base underneath their hoop. A couple of subs coming in for Artesia, including Hotling and Byers. Get a bunch of football guys that play some hoops as well, winning the state championship last year. Bounce it back door and trying to lean over the front of the rim on the foul from behind. Charlie Campbell kind of floated in the air that time, was kind of just tipping it to the hoop. Got crashed into, looks like by Lowe. Lowe's first, 3rd team foul. And I put Campbell on the line to shoot the deuce. Campbell, not a guy you want to put on there tonight, looks like. He is 6 of 6 on the charity stripe. Already leads both teams with 13 points with 2:54 left here in the second. Trying to extend out a 10-point lead, which has been the biggest of the game for Artesia. First shot is up, and it is off the front of the rim, the first miss of the game. He's the only guy that has shot free throws. And it's kind of a revenge game for Artesia. We mentioned in the pregame show that they lost by 34 points last year, one shy of the mercy rule at Tasker Arena, and a team that went on to win the state championship with 9 losses in the 4A. So they definitely our rebound type of team. Second shot, hard off the back of the rim, missed both, no good. Rebound at the free throw line by Soria. That's his third. Throws it ahead to Beatty, left corner, front court. Drives baseline, reverse underneath the hoop, and decides to throw it up top instead to David. David with an NBA 3 rainbow jumper, clinks out the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down on the right block for Artesia by Dominguez, his 5th board. Throws it ahead to Campbell with 2:35 left in the second. They're up by 10. Pass to the right corner to Dominguez. Dump it down low, right block to Kincaid. Double team. Puts an elbow into David. Throws up a scoop over the rim, no good. Pulled down for the Eagles in transition by Mora. Mora's 3rd rebound. Dribbles into the front court. Finds Soria on the right wing with 2:18 and ticking in the second quarter. He'll back it out to the timeline against a 2-3 zone for Artesia. One hand bounce pass to Mora, right wing. Up top to David. Clock to 2:10. Double team against him. David will back out of it. Flicks it down to Mora, wide open in the right corner, fakes a 3, leans back and shoots a 15-footer instead off of one dribble and scores. Nice follow-through for Mora. He's got 2 buckets for 4. 25-17 Artesia, 1:50 left here in the second. Into the front court comes Campbell as he takes on low on the near side. Bounce pass right wing to Hotling. Kick it up top to Byers. Byers swing it left wing to Campbell in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Fires a pass down low to the left block, ricocheting off Hotling. Getting a hand on it momentarily with Soria. They're giving it back to Artesia. Coach Ross ran down to the baseline to try to help the referee on that one, but was not able to lobby him out of the call. And it's going to be some subs coming in for Artesia. Get those in just a second. The inbound coming from the left baseline is Hotling to left corner to Vega. Fakes a 15-footer, drives the paint, fades and throws up a one-hander. Shot put lefty, bounces around the rim and drops through. The Hobbs Eagle kicks his first bucket through with 2 points, 27-17. At the other end, scoop shot left side was by Josiah Clay off the rim. Pulled down at the front of the iron by Hotling for his 3rd rebound. Throws it up ahead to Vega, drives the lane in the right block, throws up a shot with 2 hands and gets knocked into. Wasn't bumped first, but when he let go of the ball, Malachi David came from the left of the lane and kind of collapsed into him for the foul. That would not have gone in the hoop otherwise. But Vega wants to add on to his points. He just scored a bucket seconds ago. Right now at 2, and he'll get 2 free throws. David has picked up his second 14 foul. 4-0 foul count here in the second. So 2 shots coming for Vega. Vega scored 8 against the Eagles last year at Tasker Arena, his old stomping grounds from a couple seasons back. First free throw hard off the back of the rim. We mentioned in the Hope Christian tournament was doing some good stuff for the Bulldogs. 25 against Hope Christian in the championship game. So he definitely can stroke the outside shot and take it to the rack when he wants to. Also had 21 against St. Pius in the semis. Misses the second free throw. Tip back up and in the left block. Putting it through is Byers. First bucket in, first rebound of the ball game. Vega missed both free throws. 29-17, the biggest lead is 12 now for Artesia here in the first half. 1:05 left. Make that Josiah Clay with the ball. Cross court right to Soria. Down to the right corner to Mora. Fakes it 3 in front of the Artesia bench. Returns it deep to Clay. Clock to 55. Bounces to Beatty. Left elbow. Spins. Goes baseline. Spins again to the hoop. Scoop shot off the left iron. No good. Another rebound for Dominguez. Continues to dominate the boards. He's got 6. Outlet to the timeline. Near side right to Hotling. Swings it back to left off the dribble. Hand off to behind to Vega. Vega lost the ball, but they're going to say Beatty bumped into him first, causing him to lose control of the basketball near the time stripe. So Beatty will pick up his second 15th foul, which puts Artesia in the double bonus. They were in the first quarter, and now in the second quarter, Hobbs have fouled them 10 times, 5 in each quarter so far. Vega missed his last 2 free throws just a few seconds back. He's 0 for 2, has 2 points, all coming in this second quarter. Can make it a bigger lead than it has been all night, 12 right now, and missing it off the back of the rim again. 0 for 3 here in the second quarter is Braylon Vega. Substitution for the Eagles. Sanders returns. Jalen Sanders. Zaylen Sanders also on the roster tonight. He played in a previous game for the Eagles. He's not on the court now, though. Vega's second shot ricocheting around the rim and good. He's 1 for 3, but now 3 points for Vega. Biggest lead of the game now is 13, 30-17. Here come the Eagles. 30 seconds left in the half. Over to Sanders on the right wing from Clay in front of the Artesia bench. Up top to Soria. Jab step again. Lefty dribble. Tries to bounce pass. It gets deflected. Mora picks it up left corner. Returns to Clay on the near side left. Up top to Sanders. Clock down to 18. Backs it out to the timeline. Coming to get it from him is Josiah Clay. Over to Soria left wing. NBA 3 on the way and over the top of a defender. Puts it through the hole against Cale Hotling. Soria now with 2 trays in the second. He's got 8. 5 seconds remaining in the half, 30-20. Pass deflected on the left wing. Soria gets a steal. Goes to Clay at half court for a shot at the buzzer, and he hits a bunch of hoops that are attached to the ceiling. He tossed it way up high in the air from half court, and for some reason it went so high it went into the baskets up in the rafters here. But a nice job for the Eagles to get that turnover to end the half. That's the 6th turnover of the game for Artesia. But the Hobbs Eagles down by 10 at the half to Artesia, 30-20. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the halftime numbers live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet. Welcome back to the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Ty Friend here with you. Evie Stuber back at the station. Allison Friend on camera and Jessica Friend on the scoreboard. As the Hobbs Eagles trail Artesia 30-20, down by 10. Been down by as many as 13 in the first half, so they whittled that down just a bit before halftime. Let's look at the numbers in the first half. Only one guy in double figures for both teams. That's Charlie Campbell. He's got 13 points, 10 of those coming in the first quarter. He went 5 for 5 in the line in the first quarter and 1 for 3 in the second. So currently sitting at 6 of 8 from the charity stripe so far in this ball game. 1 rebound for Charlie Campbell. He's their point guard. After that, it was Trent Eglin with 6 points, 3 rebounds. Corbin Dominguez with 4 points, but more importantly, he's got 6 boards, and a lot of those have been defensive glass stuff. The Eagles not blocking him out and pretty much just ripping him down at random. It was 3 for Braylon Vega, 1 for 3 on the line, and a bucket for him, 3 rebounds. And he hasn't done a lot of damage against Hobbs in the games he's played recently, so I don't know if that's because he used to play with the Eagles, but that's been 2 years back, and he has a state championship under his belt since then from last season. Other scores including Kale Hotling, 2 points and 3 rebounds. Jack Byers put in a bucket. He had a rebound. Clay Kincaid didn't score. He's been out of the off the team for a couple of games, about 5 total. He was injured, but he does have 2 boards in the first half. So far in this first half of action, 6 scores in the books for Artesia. They had 6 turnovers in the first half, went 7 of 11 from the charity stripe, and 63% from the line. And they out-rebounded the Eagles 19-11 against 6 leader for Dominguez, 3 apiece for Vega, Eglin, and Hotling. For your Hobbs Eagles, leading with 8 points, Lyric Soria, thanks to 2 trays in the second quarter. He also had 3 rebounds. Braddock Beatty dumped in 4 points, including 2 for 2 free throw shooting with the rebound. Adrian Mora had a couple of buckets for 4 and 3 boards. It was Malachi David, 2 points and 4 rebounds. Josiah Clay had 1 basket go in, 2 for him. Total of 5 scores for the Hobbs Eagles. They had 3 less turnovers than Artesia, 3 versus 6, so that is 1 good plus for Hobbs in the first half. Again, we're out rebounded 19-11, and had 3 guys, or actually 1 guy with 4, that's Malachi David, and 2 with 3 rebounds, Soria and Mora. Eagles only had 2 free throw opportunities, and they were perfect from that. It was Braddock Beatty, 2 for 2 on the charity stripe. Hobbs trailing by 10 at the first quarter, 18-8, and now trailing by 10 at the halftime, 30-20. Hobbs outscored Artesia 12, or correction, no, they were both getting 12 points in the second quarter. It was 18-8 and 30-20, so 12 and 12 for both. So it kind of evened up there in the second quarter. But the score, 30-20 now here at the half. Artesia leading over the Eagles. Artesia ranked number 1 in the 4A. Your Hobbs Eagles at number 7 in the 5A in the Max Preps poll this week. We will take another 3-minute break, come back with a Hobbs Eagle halftime show as they are announcing some homecoming for Artesia here, so a little bit more extended time here at the half. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live here at the Bulldog Pit, kind of an extended halftime. Artesia having their homecoming festivities for the winter season at least. As both teams now back out on the court, warming up here. You can see the Hobbs Eagles if you're watching on YouTube or HobbsAmerica.com or the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Earlier tonight, your Hobbs Lady Eagles victorious over Artesia 62-30, in case you didn't get a chance to catch that game. Zoe Ross, big score in that one with 30 points in the contest. Also with double digits, Madison Zepeda with 12, so they combined for 42 of the Lady Eagles, 62 points. 7 for Kaysen Muniz, 6 for Eliana Armitage, 3 for Areli Navarro, and a bucket apiece for Audrey Mackey and Zaylee Hardison. So that's a total of 7 scores in that game for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, again winning 62-30, 18-2 record, number 1 in the Max Preps poll for Hobbs and Coach Joey Carpenter. And Artesia was ranked 15th in the Max Preps poll in the 4A. And this one now, it's the Hobbs boys trailing by 10, 30-20, the same numbers that it was in the first quarter in terms of a 10-point deficit. Quickly reviewing the top scores for the Artesia Bulldogs. Charlie Campbell with 13, 6 for Trent Eglin, 4 for Corbin Dominguez, and for your Hobbs Eagles, 8 for Soria, Beatty, and Mora, both with 4 apiece. The Eagles were out-rebounded by 8 in the first half, 19-11. And turnovers a little bit better than Artesia, only 3 compared to 6 for the Bulldogs. Of course, the Artesia squad winning the 4A state championship last year. They did have 9 losses on the season, and one of those for the Hobbs Eagles, 88-54 at Task Arena, but rebounded after that and did some damage in the district and took care of business at the tournament and won that over Highlands. So double-digit victory for the Artesia Bulldogs in that one. Of course, pretty decent when it comes to football, too. 33 state championships for the orange and white and black, I should say. Well, they definitely know how to play some sports around here. Hobbs is trying to return the favor here in the second half, trailing by 10. And it will be Hobbs basketball to start this third quarter. 30-20 your score. Next week we'll be in Roswell Tuesday night as the Roswell Coyotes picked off this Artesia team by 10 this past week, or actually Tuesday, I should say, 76-66. Roswell 11-9, just 2 above 500. And here we go to start the second half in the hands of Jeremy, or make that Jeremy, not his dad. That's not him. That's Lyric Soria. Tries to float it at second quarter prior to this. Campbell on the line. First shot's a swish. He's got 14 points to lead both teams. He is 7 of 9 from the charity stripe. Braylon Vega also shot free throws in the first half, 1 of 3. They were 63% at the half. Second shot for Campbell is a swish. He's got 15. 32-20. Hobbs down by 12. As they quickly get across the top of Soria, gets knocked to the floor. No call. Coach Ross thought he might have got kneed into. Unloads to Clay at the free throw line. Gives back to Soria at the time stripe. Dribbles around the right circle. One hands it to David. David with the jab step. Taking on Eglin. Up top to Beatty. Beatty will dribble around the left circle. Find Mora. Mora in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Touch pass to Josiah Clay, top of the circle. Hand off to Soria, gets off his knee, rolls back to the timeline, but able to recover. Stop and go dribble, pulls back, shot from the left elbow, a fade, and puts it through the hole. Actually fading towards the hoop, not backwards that time. Nice touch with the one hand for Clay, his 4th point of the game. 32-22. Artesia by 10 in the front court. Bounce pass on the left block to Kincaid. Comes up underneath the hoop. David tried to tie him up. We're going to say he was on his arm as well. Called the foul on Malachi David, his 3rd, second team foul. Little battle between the big kids there, the 6'8"ers. That's Clay Kincaid and Malachi David. Artesia basketball on the left baseline. It'll be Campbell to inbound. Everybody matched up man-to-man for the Hobbs Eagle defense. Officials trying to get everybody straightened up here, not pushing anything. Inbound deep to the top of the arc to Eglin to reach back for it. Gives it Campbell right elbow, kick out right corner to Vega. Wide open 3 off the side of the rim, no good. And getting the rebound because of a push-off was Clay Kincaid. Wide open to get it in the left block, but he shoved on David first. So Kincaid gets the first personal, and that'll be the first team foul. 32-22. 10-point Artesia lead, 6:08 left, third quarter. Soria unloads to Mora, right wing, wide open 3 off the front of the iron, no good. Bounces clean right to Artesia. Nobody getting in there for the Eagles on the offensive glass. Campbell's second rebound. Throws it ahead and going to the rack hard, high in the air on the right side of the glass, getting fouled for Artesia, Kale Hotling. Nice look from Campbell, a little alley-oop type of action there. And they call that one against the Eagles, Mora. They've got him down for his 4th foul. I don't know where they're getting the 4 fouls there, because that's definitely not what I have in my books. Hope they're not getting somebody confused on that one, but Braddock Beatty will have to check in for him. Beatty gets the pass on the left wing, takes off to the hoop, but they call the timeout on the drive. Coach Ross wants to get something set up here. Does not want a double-digit deficit for any longer than he can hope for. 5:23 left, 3rd quarter. Artesia 37, your Hobbs Eagles 24. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. .523 left, 3rd quarter. Artesia leads your Hobbs Eagles 37-24. Listening live and watching live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7's Facebook page, and listening on the radio at Cool 95.7. Next game is coming up on Tuesday. The Eagles will be on the road against Roswell against the Coyotes. First game of the district. Eagles basketball after the Hobbs timeout. Soria top of the circle to move a 2-3 zone. Give it to Josiah Clay on the right wing. Over to Lowe on the left side of the arc. Coming back to get it is Clay. Takes a few dribbles at the top of the circle. Contents down the lane. Rim mail layup on the right side of the rim. No good. Pulled down underneath the hoop for Artesia by Hotling. Knocked out of his hands. Artesia tries to save it and sliding on the floor, knocking it out. Unfortunately, at least for Artesia, Clay Kincaid, he put his body on the floor. He came back injured after about 4 or 5 games, and he still is going to go to the floor. Of course, this team plays a little football too. I call that a turnover because they slid out with the basketball. That's a second for Artesia. They've got 8 overall. Hobbs basketball, top of the arc. Josiah Clay to the right wing. Underhands it back to Surrey. Had to come back to it. Tries to the right block, and Campbell's hipping him all over the place. They call the foul on Campbell. That's Campbell's first personal, 3rd team foul. 3-3 foul count now here in the 3rd quarter. Hobbs ball on the right baseline, but they trail by 13. Got to do some quick damage on the shooting for the Eagles. Definitely like to get Soria continue to make some of those trays that he did with 2 in the second. Back deep to Sanders, and he gets knocked to the floor on the near sideline right in front of our camera here. You probably saw it before I announced it if you're watching on the internet. Completely getting bodied by Cale Hotling. That's the first on Hotling. 4th team foul. Eagles are 1 away from the bonus. Inbound to Josiah Clay, top of the arc. DeLoe in the right corner, give back to Soria. Faded as he dribbles through 3 defenders. Lost the ball, taken away by Campbell, top of the arc. The second Eagle turnover in the second half, 5 overall. And a foul as they try to drive it across the timeline. Slap it out of the Eagles as they're going to call that one against Lyric Soria, his second. 4-4 foul count now. 1 away from the bonus for both teams. 4:42 left here in the 3rd, and Hobbs down by 13. Inbound to the backcourt near left sideline to Campbell. Will take on Sanders through the time stripe. Throws it down to the free throw line to Kincaid. Zings it to the right corner to Hotling. Dump it to the right block to Eglin on a hippity hop. He got sandwiched between David and Josiah Clay that time. One of them got a hold on him. They call the foul, which will be a double bonus. They charge that one to Jalen Sanders. Boy, I don't know where they're getting Sanders on that one. Didn't even look like he was in the area that time. His 3rd. And that'll be the 5th team foul. On the line to shoot 2, Trent Eglin. Wonder if they accidentally announced the shooter, because that's who's shooting is a 24. Sanders was not one of the guys that sandwiched him that time. Missing the free throw does Eglin. He's 0 for 1 now. Campbell 6 of 8 from the line. Vega 1 for 3, and now Hotling 1 for 2, and now 1 for 3 as he missed the second one. Pulled down by Josiah Clay in transition. Quick dribble, comes down the right side of the lane, and the cradle goes to the rack off the glass with a finger roll. He saw an opening, and he took it. Clay now has 6 of his 8 points in the 3rd quarter. It's 37-26. Artesia still by 11. Fadeaway three from the right side by Campbell with the man in his face, Proby. Rebound underneath the hoop by Lowe, his first. Throws it ahead to a breaking Proby, left baseline. Has to save it, though, a little bit overthrown. Coach Ross tries to come get it at the scorer's table on that far left sideline with a little look of disgust there. Eagles having a chance for a transition game that got foiled on a bad pass. That's the Eagles' 6th turnover of the game compared to 8 for Artesia. But the Bulldogs do have an 11-point lead with 4 minutes left here in the third. Across the timeline comes Campbell, taking on Lowe. To the left wing, keeps his dribble alive, zings it up top to Kincaid. Pivots, kick it off right corner to Dominguez. Bounces to the right block. Eglin fade away, misses out the rim, goes back up with his own rebound and puts it in for 2 on the right side of the rim. Eglin now with 8 points and 4 rebounds. 39-26, matching the biggest lead for Artesia. In the front court, Surrey on the left wing. Stop and go dribble. Shot from 10 outside the left of the paint. Comes off the iron, no good. Board in transition by Campbell. Campbell sends it ahead to a breaking Vega high-arching layup on the right side. He's got 8. Biggest lead of the game now, 15 for Artesia. 41-26, 3:18 left third quarter. David will bring it across, finds Josiah Clay, top of the circle. Hippity hop, hand off to Proby underneath, reverse layup left to right off the glass. Beautiful handwork up over the top of the rim and scores. Proby with his first bucket, 41-28. And a long ball down again to Vega. 2 for 2 on the layups. Eagles got caught sleeping that time. Vega's made him pay for it back-to-back. He's starting to put in the points now. He's got 10 behind the 15 of Campbell. 3:01 left here in the third. Timeout Eagles. Artesia matching their biggest lead of 15, 43-28 over Hobbs. Back in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. 3:01 left third quarter here in Artesia. Your Hobbs Eagles trail by 15, 43-28 to the defending 4A state champs Artesia. They were beat by Roswell Tuesday, 76-66 after 20 Bulldog turnovers. Although Campbell had 24, Vega 18, and Eglin 10. Some big scoring from those three. But Roswell had a kid put in for 33. They'll have to face him on Tuesday. The Eagles travel to Roswell. 2:50 left. He passed to Moore in the free throw line of the front court. Kick out to a wide open, but missing an open three-point shot was Braden Dunlap. Rebound going to the other end. Campbell tries a scoop on the left side. He gets it to flick over the rim and a foul going up. So Campbell gets another bucket. He's got 17 points now trying to add onto his free throws. And they're going to call that on Dunlap, the guy that shot the three-pointer at the other end for the Eagles. That'll be his first personal. Just barely got in for the first time tonight. 16 foul, already in the double bonus, but a one-shot situation here for Campbell. He is 8 of 10 from the line for 80%. Shot is up, and it's in and out, no good. Pulled down underneath by Moore and getting shoved in the back by the Bulldogs. That was Clay Kincaid getting the foul on that one. Good job for Moore for the block out. That's Moore's 4th rebound. And that'll be the 5th foul on Artesia. We go to the other end for the bonus. The official showing 1 and 1. Yeah, I think he means 2, double bonus. 1 and 1 went out a couple seasons back. I used to think if you saw him on the internet, he was right in front of us here, but no harm, no foul. No pun intended. On the line, shooting 2, Adrian Mora. Yet to shoot a free throw in this game. Hobbs 4 for 4, 2 apiece for Beatty and Clay, and make it 5 for 5 as Mora puts it through. He's got 5 points. Still 8 for Story, who's yet to score in this third quarter. 8 for Josiah Clay, 5 for Mora. Malachi David and Proby both with 2. Hard off the back of the rim for Mora. Goes straight up in the air after it hits the iron, then comes back through the cylinder. Boy, he had the touch on that one. So Mora now with 6 points, 2 for 2 on the line, and a 45-30 point differential. So a 15-point ball game, as high as 18 in this third quarter. 2:30 remaining. High pass down to the left elbow. Tipped by Byers over to the right side of the free throw line, and a shot taken and right through the hole. Eagles not getting a hand in the face that time. As that bucket put through by Dominguez. 47-30 at the other end. Hippity hop, little hook sidewinder hook there for Josiah Clay on the right block. Puts it through the hole and is fouled. Clay with a quick first step. He's got 8 of his 10 points here in the third quarter. Foul going to be called against Clay Kincaid. That's his third, 16th foul. Right now on the scoreboard, 17 for Campbell, 10 for Vega, 6 for Hotling. Free throw missed out the front of the rim. Mora's going to pull it down for the Eagles. That'll be his 5th rebound. Pass up top to Clay. Clay will come down the lane. High arching shot from the right block and puts it through. So Clay's starting to get on fire here. As he continues to put down the points, he's got 12. It's 47-34. At the other end, a shot from 3. It's a swish for Vega as he went over the top of Mora that time. Vega now has 2 trays here in the third quarter and 13 points. Second leading scorer for Artesia, 50-34, a 16-point Bulldog lead, 1:40 left third. Front court, Soria, one hands to Beatty on the right wing near side. Back deep to Clay. Clay waiting for somebody to come get the ball. David can't do it, but a pass to Soria instead, left wing. Stop and go dribble to left corner, flicks it back to Clay on the left wing as well, dribbling behind his back, spin move, comes down the lane, shot put from the left side, miss, put back up by Mora off the right glass. Nice tip throw action for Adrian Mora. Get some good looks in this ball game. He's got 8 points now and 6 rebounds, working on a double-double, his best game of the season. 50-36, Hobbs down by 14 though. Campbell in the front court. Sings it up top to Eglin. Trying to get Mora to step out, bounce pass on the right wing to Byers. Byers puts it down to the right corner to Campbell. Thought about a 3, but David steps out on him. Spin move, right block. It's stripped by Josiah Clay. Saved by Beatty on the baseline. A turner for Artesia. That'll be their 9th. Throws it ahead to Clay on the right wing. Comes down the lane. Kick it left to Beatty. Fakes a 3 to the lane to the free throw. Shot up and off the front of the rim. No good. Ball loose in the paint. Bodies on the floor. Clay's getting bodied up. And people starting to dive on top of him. They got the jump ball. Clay was the guy on the bottom of the pile, and Campbell went down with him to get the tie-up. Really didn't have a full control for the rebound that time. I think the hand was on it as they were both hitting the floor. But the arrow's going to go to the Eagles, or make that Artesia regardless. 50-36 your score. 38 seconds left here in the third. Hobbs down by 14. Inbound to the backcourt is Vega, taking on Beatty. Comes down the lane, right side, a high-arching shot off the back of the rim, no good. Put back up on the left block off the glass, put it through is Eglin. He's got 10 points and 5 rebounds. 20 seconds left in the third, 52-36. Dribbling behind his back is Josiah Clay, fires up a 3 and good. Got by 2 defenders that time, Clay with his first tray of the game. 15 for Josiah Clay, 52-39. Hobbs down by 13 in the front court, Hotling gets a screen up top. From Byers, dribbles around the left baseline, scoop shot no good, put back up by Byers, he gets it swatted by Beatty, picked up by Soria on the near sideline, tries to sit it ahead. Hobbs gets a heave-ho in the front court on the near sideline, but I think that was after the buzzer by Josiah Clay. So a big hole to dig out of for the Hobbs Eagles as we enter the fourth quarter. It's Artesia 52, Hobbs 39. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Into the front court comes Artesia. Charlie Campbell bounces it up top to Clay Kincaid, the big man. Gives it over to Eglin on the right wing. Got knocked out of his hands by Clay, able to recover it does Eglin. Bad bounce pass to the timeline, the pickpocket. Adrian Mora with the dunk left to right over the rim. Boy, Mora getting the leaps on that one. He's got 10 points. That's going to be the 10th turnover. Another bad pass up court taken by Josiah Clay. Figueroa on the left glass and scores. He can tell you one thing, Coach Mondragon not going to like that. Clay now with 17 points to lead the Eagles, and that is going to be 2 turnovers in a row, 11 turnovers overall for Artesia as Coach Mondragon calls a timeout. 52-46 your score. Your Eagles down by 6 now. They were trailing by 13 at the break. So definitely something working well for the Eagles now as they're starting to get themselves taken care of. This is the finale quarter as the Eagles dropped from 6 to 7 in the Max Preps poll after that close, heartbreaking loss to Cleveland last week, leading for most of that ball game. And unfortunately, the Storm got the win and got themselves a #1 ranking in the state after that one at Tasker Arena. Final of 79-77 in that one. Of course, that's a game that coming back after about 5 games off, Malachi David with 24, Lyric Soria dumped in 22. Eagles managed 9 3-pointers in that ball game, so things going pretty well for the Eagles in that one. Also out rebounded Cleveland 28-20. We said that before in the pregame show too. When the Eagles get a team rebounding effort, you're going to get some victories. Of course, Malachi David averaging 8 to 9 rebounds a game, but when you've been out, we start to see that production from other guys kind of dropping to numbers that they didn't need to be. So again, motivation's got to be there. After the timeout, 7:04 remaining here in the fourth, 52-46, a 6-point ball game. Highest lead was 18 for Artesia in this one. Going hard up the far right sideline, Campbell after the inbound, getting ridden a little bit by Josiah Clay. Shaking his head, kind of smiling a little bit, thought he got one he shouldn't have there. That's his second. First team foul on the Eagles here in the fourth quarter. Artesia basketball on the 28-foot line, far right sideline in front of the Artesia bench. Bouncing to the time stripe to Kotling. I think somebody got a kick on it that time. Looks like Soria got his foot there. So violation, back to Artesia on the near or far right side in front of the scores table. Campbell bouncing again to the time stripes, taken by Josiah Clay. That'll be 12 turnovers. Backdoor to Soria, high layup with a finger roll off the right glass. Gets knocked to the floor, count the basket. Nice pass from Beatty. Soria lays it in, and a chance for a 3-point play on the foul. He's got 10 points. Eagles on a big comeback here. That'll be the second on Hotling. First team foul on the Bulldogs. Soria going to shoot his first free throw of this ball game. Came into the contest at 88% and misses it off the front of the rim. Pulled down for Artesia by Kincaid, his third rebound. Outlet to half court to Campbell. Beats Soria to the top of the arc. Fakes a 3. One-hand pass to Vega on the right wing in front of the Artesia bench. Slides left off the dribble. Handoff up top to Jack Byers. He tried to get the ball. Beatty threw a stiff shoulder into him and got the foul. That's third on Beatty. Second team foul. 6:37 left in the fourth, 52-48. It was 52-39 at the end of the third. A shot from the corner left, missed by Vega, pulled down for the Eagles on the far left, but David throws a bad pass up the court. And coming down with it is Campbell, laid in for 2 on the right glass. So David had his 5th rebound, but also a turnover. That's only the 10th of the game for the, or 7th of the game for the Eagles compared to 12 for Artesia. 54-48. Don't want those unforced errors after things are going so well the last couple of minutes. Beatty with the basketball, 6:08 remaining. Drives down the left side of the lane, 1-2 and up. Reverse layup right, comes off the glass, no good. In transition off the rebound is Campbell, his 4. Stop and go, spin in the lane. Double clutch right glass, misses the rim, but tipped back up and in over the front of the iron by Kincaid. 4 rebounds and 2 points for Kincaid. 56-48. Eagles to the other end. Comes down the lane is Clay, and Clay gets fouled as he's sandwiched in between 2 defenders that time. That was Clay Kincaid and Cal Hotling. We'll see which one of those 2 gets the foul. They call that on Hotling, his 3rd, second team foul, and Clay will get a chance for free throws. Clay leads the team with 17 points. He is 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Got a souvenir ball hitting the court. They don't stop action. Clay shoots it off the front of the rim, unfortunately, but he will get one more. Bounce it down low in the paint to Kincaid. Tries a hook shot, rejected by David. Rebound by Lowe. Boy, coach going off on that one. It was Michael Mondragon did not like that whatsoever. Pass up court to Clay, top of the arc. Over to Lowe on the left wing. Dribbles up behind the arc, head off to Clay. Drives the left elbow, fadeaway jumper, in and out, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound for Artesia was Kincaid. Eagles didn't know he's going to shoot that one, so had nobody to crash. 5 boards for Kincaid at 6'8". Pass to Campbell at the timeline. Drives hard to the front court against Lowe. He'll back it out. Looks over to Coach. Mondragon on the far right sideline for the play call. Stop and go. Tries an alley-oop, but it's taken away at the free throw line out of the air by Mora. Another turnover for Artesia. They've got 13 compared to 7 for the Eagles. Tesori in the right wing. Under 5 remaining. Down by 7. Bounce past the right elbow. Intended for Mora. Picked off for Dominguez for Artesia for the Eagles. 8 turnover. Dump it down left block. Hook shot in the paint. As he spun to the lane was Dominguez. He's got 6. 58-49. 9-point Artesia lead. 4:40 remaining. Clay in the front court. Crossover move to his left hand. Top of the circle. Puts it back deep to Lowe. Lowe going to come left around. In front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Now back to the top of the arc on the zigzag. Gives it out to Soria. On the near side. Dump it right corner. Mora's going to fire a 3 air ball though. Waiting for it on the left block for Artesia was Eglin. He's got 6 boards, but a bad pass up ahead. Sails it past the body of Dominguez underneath the hoop, out of bounds. Artesia not doing themselves any justice with these turnovers. They have 8 in the second half, 6 in the first for 14. 8 turnovers for the Hobbs Eagles, and that got them a chance to get back in this game in this fourth quarter. 58-49. Eagles have 19 in the fourth, and just 3 points for Artesia. 4:20 remaining. Soria lets it roll across the timeline before he picks it up to let the clock continue to run. One-hand pass over to Lowe on the right wing. Faces bucket. Give to David right beside him on the left of the right wing. Throws up a 3 out the front of the rim, no good. Rebound at the free throw line by Kincaid is 6th. Hand off on the near sideline to Hotling. Taking his time with the dribble against Soria through the time stripe with 4 minutes left. Eagles down by 9. Unloads the pass left wing to Dominguez against Beatty. Drives baseline. Lost the ball off his left hand out of bounds of the cheerleaders. Another unforced error for Artesia. Boy, things are starting to look a little ugly there here in the fourth quarter. That's 15 turnovers now for the home team, but they still have a 9-point lead with a little bit of a cushion. But Hobbs is starting to erase some of that lead from the double digits. It used to be 18 in this half. Soria in the front court. Stop and go left wing in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Crossover. Give it to Proby left corner. He's waiting to see some rotation. One hands it up top to Beatty. Coming off left of the dribble. Cross court to Lowe on the right. Give it off to Soria on the right wing. Crossover move behind his back. Baseline. 15-footer. Fade away. In and out. No good. Beatty tried to get a tip, but is pulled down instead by Dominguez. His 7th rebound. Outlet to the time stripe to Hotling with 3:25 remaining. Hobbs down by 9. Hotling lost the dribble and then ran into Beatty. They called Beatty for reach on that when Coach Ross got on the court and said, what's going on here? So Beatty has just picked up his 4th personal. That'll be the 3rd team foul against the Eagles. So we're not double bonus yet. There's been 2 fouls for Artesia. Both teams well away from that 2-shot situation. Malachi, David, and Lowe will take a breather. Mora, Beatty, Soria, Clay, and Proby on the court for the Eagles. Inbound to Vega. Dribbles around the right wing. Handoff right there to Hotling. Tries to put it up top and throws it over the head of Byers and comes over to this near left sideline. Cross court, he just threw it up a helium style that time, and another Artesia turnover. 16 total, 10 here in the second half. Doubling the numbers to his troops. It's a 7-point deficit for the Eagles, 2:50 remaining in the fourth. We'll take a 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle action on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. as we will go to a timeout. 60-53. The Bulldogs lead your Eagles by 7. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. $60 to 53 your score here in the fourth quarter. Hobbs in this fourth is able to put in a total of 14, 8 for Artesia. So Hobbs with the advantage in this fourth, but still have a 7-point deficit to deal with 1:03 remaining. So far, 22 points for Josiah Clay. He's the leading scorer for the Eagles. 10 apiece for Lyric Soria and Adrian Mora. Mora has 7 rebounds, though, to add to his numbers, as Soria with 4 boards. So those 3 in double figures. And the leading scorer for Artesia, Charlie Campbell, 17, is yet to score in the fourth. 13 for Braylon Vega, yet to score in the fourth. And Trent Englund, 10, yet to score in the fourth. So Hobbs has shut down some of their big scorers, but they still have to get back this 7-point deficit. Bounce into the paint in the backcourt, complete to Dominguez, throws it up ahead to Campbell. 2-on-2, alley-oop backdoor, going up high with 2 hands and tipping off the left glass is Hotling. He's got 10. 62-53, clock to 50 seconds left. Into the front court to David on the left wing, fires the 3 out the front of the rim, no good. Kincaid with his 7th rebound. Give it off to Campbell far right, gets pulled by David for the foul to stop the clock. Malachi David now with 4 fouls. That will be the 5th team foul against the Eagles to make a double bonus for Artesia. 44 seconds left, a 9-point Artesia lead. And Campbell will be on the line. 11 free throw attempts in this game, has made 8 of those. Majority of the free throw attempts for Artesia in this one, has 17 points. Trying to get his first point, though, of the fourth quarter. Top 3 scorers have yet to do so, and the first one's a swish. 18 now for Campbell. Campbell last season against the Eagles was their leading scorer, 17 points in the 88-54 loss to Hobbs at Tasker Arena. So he's had some experience against the Eagles. Second shot for Campbell is up and good, a swish. He's got 19. Back to a double-digit lead, 64-53. 40 seconds remaining in the front court. Josiah Clay, right wing, gets a screen from Morris. Step back 3, top of the arc, off the bottom of the left backboard. Campbell just waits for it at the free throw line for his 5th board. Takes the dribble against Beatty, crossover, and Beatty pushes on the hip. I think that's going to be his 5th. Beatty thought that was kind of a quick whistle that time. Didn't look like he did much, maybe a tap or hand check, and Coach Ross wanted the clock stop, but he didn't want Beatty to have to foul out on that one. That's his 5th, and that will be 4 points for Beatty and a rebound. He also went 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Jadarius Lowe will check in for him. 11-point lead for Artesia. Campbell back to the line again. He's 2 for 2 here in the fourth quarter. All his points on the line so far. 19 overall, though. And now make it 20 at the first make there. 28 seconds remaining in this one, 65-53 Artesia. Lost to Roswell on Tuesday, but beating another team from the district the same with Roswell. Mora gets a rebound on the miss off the back of the rim. That's his 8th board. Throws it up. No, he's going to dribble it himself to the left wing and fire a 3 off the bottom of the right backboard. Vega waits for it and pulls it down, his 4th board. He'll take the dribble himself with 15 seconds left. Into the front court, take it on low. He'll back it out near the scores table far right to the half stripe. Just going to run some clock. Dribbles from right to left, still near the half-court line. Gets a screen from Campbell. Clock down to 3, 2, 1, and that is the ball game. Artesia gets the win, 65-53 over the Hobbs Eagles. And for Hobbs, that'll be 8 losses on the season, as Artesia improves to 15-4, and more than likely will stick onto that number 1 ranking in the 4A. Hobbs Eagles still at number 7 at this point, but they got district starting next week, and that means win-losses go 0-0. Again, 65-53. Artesia winning over the Hobbs Eagles. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show here on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to the Bulldog Pit here in Artesia. Ty Friend here with you. Evie Stuber back at the station as your Hobbs Eagles lose to Artesia tonight. Final 65-53 as the Bulldogs get a 12-point win. Looking at the numbers first for the Bulldogs, their leading scorer, Charlie Campbell, he finished with 22 points, made 3 for 3 free throw shooting in the fourth quarter. I also had 5 rebounds, went 11 of 14 from the line for the ball game. Also in double digits for Artesia, Braylon Vega, the former Hobbs Eagle from a few years back. He had 13 points, had a couple of trays, and 4 rebounds. On the free throw line, he was 1 of 3. And finally, a couple other guys in double digits. Trent Eglin had 10 points. He went with 6 rebounds, 0 for 1 on the line. Cale Hotling had 10 points. He was 2 for 4 from the charity stripe with 5 rebounds. Single-digit scoring from Corbin Dominguez. He had 6, but he did have 7 rebounds too, so definitely a force underneath. Also scoring was Jack Byers with a bucket for 2, 3 rebounds. And Clay Kincaid, their 6'8" post, he's back after about 4 or 5 games absence due to an injury, had 2 points, 0 for 2 on the line, and the 7 rebounds. 7 scores for the Artesia Bulldogs in this one. They went 14 of 24 for 56% from the charity stripe. In terms of rebounds, they won that battle 37-23, so 14 more boards in the Eagles as they were led on the glass with a total of 7 by Kincaid and Dominguez, 6 for Eglin, and 5 for Hotling. Campbell also had 5 rebounds for Artesia, so lots of guys cleaning glass for the Bulldogs. Turnovers were an issue for them in the second half. They had 10 and 16 overall, 6 in the first half, 10 in the second half. Hobbs took advantage of that in the fourth quarter to really whittle down a double-digit deficit down to single digits for much of that fourth quarter. But the Eagles could not hold on to get the win. On the other side of the coin, the Eagles get some big-time production from Josiah Clay. He had 22 points in the contest, and in terms of the free throw situation, he was 3 of 5 from the charity stripe for 60%. Also in double digits for Hobbs, Adrian Mora finished with 10 points and 8 rebounds. He was looking at a double-double, getting close there. Went perfect on the charity stripe at 2 for 2. Lyric Soria with 10 points and a couple of trays in the second quarter. Also 4 rebounds. So those 3 combined for a total of 42 of the Hobbs Eagles, 53 points. A major majority there with Clay, Mora, and Soria. Other scores, Malachi David, 5 points, including a tray, 6 rebounds for him. Braddock Beatty, 4 points with 2 for 2 free throw shooting and a rebound. Last but not least, Darius Proby with the bucket for 2 points. A couple other guys getting rebounds. Josiah Clay had 1 and Jalen Sanders had 1 as well. Hobbs had 6 scores in the ball game. Eagles definitely had a lot less free throw opportunities in the contest. Only 9 attempts compared to 24 for Artesia. Hobbs shooting pretty well though. They were 7 of 9 from the charity stripe for 77%. Rebound situation, they were negative total of 14, less than Artesia. Leading the boards, Mora with 8, 6 for David, and 4 for Soria. Turnover situation, Eagles a lot better than that. In fact, Artesia doubled the turnovers, a lot of those coming in the fourth quarter. 16 for Artesia, just 8 for the Eagles in the ball game. And in the fourth quarter, Hobbs managing to dump in 14 points compared to 13 for Artesia. A lot of that coming late in the fourth quarter. 3 of their big scorers did not have a lot of points until the end when they started getting a chance to get the free throws. So that's what you got here with the final score. Once again, 65-53. Hobbs drops to 12-8, worse than what the Eagles fared at Tasker Arena. Mayfield, they lost by 5. Against Centennial, lost to them by 4. Of course, the Eagles took care of Centennial. Rio Rancho, one of the best teams in the state, they lost by 20, 71-51. Beat Lovington last week, 81-48. And then we mentioned also this week, Artesia, they beat by 10. So again, a couple games above 500 for Roswell, 11-9 on the season, a force to be reckoned with. And that game will be on the road, as I mentioned, Tuesday night. We will have the 6:45 pregame, the tip-off at 7 o'clock. And again, if you weren't with us earlier, we had some technical difficulties through the first half, so if you're looking for video on that, we unfortunately don't have that in terms of that. But we'd also like to mention KSVP Radio and TV. You can check that out for the first half action as well as the second half. They really helped us out with a very important core that we needed to get on the air. So we'd like to thank Gene Dow and his crew for hooking us up with that. But they have the first half of action. You want to check that out, KSVP TV Radio on the internet. So that girls game earlier, pretty much a monumental win for the Lady Eagles. Pretty much a blowout in that contest, getting it close to Mercy Roll at points of that one. Final score was 62-30. Hobbs winning by 32 in that ball game, and it was 30 for Zoe Ross, leading scorer. Madsen Zepeda finished up with 12. So those two girls, 42 of the Hobbs Eagles, 62 points in that ball game. Kind of close through a couple of the early quarters of the game, but Hobbs kind of extended it in the second half as really Zoe Ross coming on big time with the scoring in that ball game. So Hobbs boys losing it, Hobbs girls winning it, so 1-1 record here in Artesia at the Bulldog Pit. Final score for the boys again, 65-53 Artesia. Again, we'll be back with you on Tuesday night on the road, 6:45 pregame tip-off at 7. The Hobbs Lady Eagles will be at Tasker Arena, and we'll have that on the Eagle 100.5 in terms of their Facebook page and also on HobbsAmerica.com and on YouTube as well. Don't forget, too, weather coming to kind of a bad situation here possibly this weekend. If you're traveling around the area, they are expecting some winter storms, possibly Saturday night, late or maybe early, late afternoon, Saturday into Sunday. It's kind of pushed back a little bit of time than what was expected. Could actually potentially deal with Monday as well. So just be checking the weather. We'll have all the updates for on our No Mark broadcasting stations on the radio to tell you what's going on, including tomorrow, which is Friday. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Ty Friend saying adios to you. Back at the station, thanks to Evie Stuber. Also Allison Friend on camera. Jessica Friend on our scoreboard tonight. We'd also like to thank TJ Miracle helping us out getting the equipment we need at the last second. And, of course, also to Ron Gunter helping us out, too, with some of our technical help. Again, we'll see you Tuesday night, and have a great rest of the week out there.
You're clear.
Thanks a lot, Evie. Appreciate it.
No problem. Drive safe.
Yep. See you. Bye.